times have changed.
Yeah.
It
was the go-to gospel.
Yeah, with the flower pot somewhere here and then the fountain at the back.
Oh, but now we are going all out.
High-tech videos.
Just for Jesus.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to GTV Breakfast. And it's Thursday, Throwback Thursday. I've just put a photo on my social media, and I'm just waiting for day to break for all the comments to start coming in. Yes. So my mom found this photo of me. You should go on my social, go on my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Twitter. You will find out pretty shortly. And so tell me what you think about that photo. But what you should also do is follow us across our social media handles, because we share a lot of content. And sometimes when the cameras go off and news breaks, that's where we put them. So follow GBC, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, on Facebook. We're streaming live there now. We're streaming live on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter and also on Instagram. Verified pages, so you know that anything we put there is credible.
Awesome. So I was looking through the news, and 2 days ago, the executive director of the National Population Council said something that caught my eye. She's proposing that the system needs to castrate one man who has been found guilty of defiling a child, and that will stop people from defiling children. So I asked the question, should punishment by castration be the solution for dealing with men who defile children? Charlie, the comments.
Everyone said yes.
A lot of people said yes, really. A lot of people said yes. I'll read some of them. I'll read some of the comments out there. Of course, someone say, hey, Charlie, don't go there.
I mean, child or adult, don't, your rights end where somebody else's rights begin. So if you have to go into another person's body, another person's space, think twice. I mean, don't do that.
Yeah. And talking of children, yesterday I was at one of these Goyle stations around 9, and I saw a bunch of kids, 4 kids outside the door of the exit to the door. So what happens is that you enter the shop, you buy your stuff. When you're coming out, then they come and they beg for money. So I decided to interview them. They said, look, listen, where do you live? They said they lived about 5 minutes away from where they were. Where's your mother? Your mother is in Accra somewhere. Do you go to school? No school. What do? They spend the whole day just begging money from people. Then I asked, have you eaten? He said no. I said, I'm not going to give you money. I'm going to give you food. So I went and bought some biscuits and some people and gave it to them. I said, now, and then they hang around. They didn't go home. And I'm thinking kidnappings.
They're vulnerable.
Yes. 4 children at under the age of 12.
No protection whatsoever.
Just begging.
You ask, where are the parents of
That was my question.
No answers there. It's giving me a headache. And this morning we'll be talking about headaches on the health check segment. We are looking at managing common headaches. So what's your go-to plan when you have a headache? What do you do as soon as you feel a headache come on?
Don't know about headaches, but when I was in school, when I had malaria coming along, I'll take tea bread and pineapple.
Tea bread and pineapple. You have the weirdest.
Yeah, this was when I was in the Vandal city.
Tea bread and pineapple. I'm not surprised. Vandals. Tea bread and pineapple is the cure for malaria. So what?
That was my cure, and it worked for me. When the fever is coming now, then tea bread and
you need Lufat, because Lufat is our brand that deals specifically with malaria. It is the go-to medication, suspension for kids and tablets for adults. And when you have malaria, don't take tea bread and pineapple. Just buy Lufat, okay? Lufat is from the Tobinco group of companies, and it's Ghana's gift to Africa, Africa's gift to the world, okay? We are battling malaria on all fronts. But what do you do when you have a headache? We'll have that conversation in about 20 minutes?
20 minutes, 20
yes,
minutes.
when we settle into the health corner of the breakfast show. And we'll also be having conversations around the plight of widows and orphans. And you were at Father Campbell's program recently.
Yes, indeed, a couple of weeks ago.
And asking people to adopt lepers.
Yes, cured lepers.
And send them some money every month. Commit to visiting them. I think something similar could be done for widows, and if everyone just rallied around. And there are organizations that are focused specifically on these, and one of them will be joining us at the table to see what more can be done for widows and orphans.
Yes, indeed. And today is the 28th of October. Happy birthday, Mr. Aframoni, President of the Ghana Journalists Association. Happy birthday to you, Na Ofebia Dodu of Carbon AV. May God bless you now, may God bless you now, may God bless you now. May God bless you.
Yesterday was Papa Kuma's birthday. Papa, good morning. And it's a Boxing Day for us as well today. It's not 26th December, but we'll have...
Let's mention his name.
Banku Fresh.
He's coming. Yes.
Bankueba. We'll have him coming over the house. Of course, we'll monitor traffic and we'll also be monitoring what's trending on social media. For now, we'll start with our wisdom nugget for today.
From Dr. Kofi Aseng Kusi, and he's talking about living with purpose. This day. Good morning.
It's a good morning to you. Always very exciting and very humbling for me to bring you the wisdom nugget for the day. I'm serving you the wisdom nugget for the day to spice up your day, to spice up your week, and to spice up your year. And of course, to spice up your entire life. And today, I want to talk about living with purpose. It's very important that you and I live life with a strong sense of purpose. If we're going to live a meaningful life, it's only going to be because we are living with purpose. Purpose is the reason why a thing was made. Purpose is the reason why something exists. And of course, you and I exist with a purpose. The scientist tells us that before we came into this world, or before we were born, when dad and mom met, hundreds of millions of sperm cells were released by dad in order for one of them to fertilize the egg of your mom for you to become a baby. You know what? It means that before you were born, you were a winner already. You should never sit down and feel like you've lost everything in life. Even before you were born, there were hundreds of millions of human beings who wanted to come into the world. And guess who entered the world? It was you. You won. And so you're not here by accident. You are here by design. There's a reason why you are here. And it's so important that you discover that purpose. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. When you don't know why you exist, or when people don't know why something exists, they tend to abuse that specific thing. I heard something many years ago in the eastern region of Ghana that in those times, diamonds were so common that kids used to play chaskele and used to play, some sort of soccer with those stones, precious stones. Why? They didn't know the purpose of those gems. And many people are playing all kinds of games with their lives just because they don't know the purpose and the reason why they're here. I heard another one about a little girl who was asked by an elderly person, what would you do with your life if you know that you will not amount to anything? And the lady said, I will live my life anyway, anyhow. If I know that my life will not amount to anything, I will live my life anyway, anyhow. And then again, the same gentleman asked the lady, how would you live your life if you know that one day your decisions will affect the whole world? And she said, then I'm going to live my life thoughtfully and carefully. And this person was Queen Elizabeth. This young girl one day became one of the most influential people that ever lived. You know, when you know that your life is going to amount to something, when you know there is a reason why you are here, you have a whole different perspective to life. And today I'm here to challenge you as you go through your day, as you start your day, that you discover a sense of purpose for your life if you don't already have it. Now, number one way you're going to find out the sense of purpose for your life is to think about your gifts, your talents, and your passions. Your gifts, your talents, and your passions point you to your purpose. When you look at the giftings of something, when you look at what something can do, it gives you an indication of what a thing is supposed to perform wherever it is located. And so you need to dig deeper, think deeper about yourself. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are the things you're good at? What are the things you do without sweat? What are the things you love to do? Think about it deeply. It will give you an idea of why you were born. Number two, if you want to discover your purpose in life, you need to look at the kind of problems that makes you angry. You know, there are certain things in society that everyone seems to be okay with it except you. Now, you have an incredible amount of anger when you see that particular problem. When I see problems with the youth, it hurts me. And that is why for many years, I've been working with young people and I've run a foundation for the youth. When I think about leadership, when I think about the power of leadership, when I think about how people can develop themselves to have the capacity to lead organizations, to lead families, and to lead nations and corporate institutions, it's such a problem in my heart. And that is why I run a leadership institute. And so when you think about the problems that makes you angry in this world, with the problems around you, it may be filth, it may be lack of creativity, it may be young people on the streets without job. When you think about these things that makes you so angry, it gives you a clue to the purpose that you were born to fulfill. And so today I want to challenge you, don't just pass through life. That is why another person said that the richest place on the face of the earth is where? The graveyard. Because the graveyard is the place where many people pass through this life and never fulfill the sense of purpose. They died with all the riches and the wealth and the intelligence and the ideas and the creativity that was in them. Don't be one of those people. You should live your life purposefully. Live life with a strong sense of purpose. Be passionate about finding your purpose today and then live to fulfill that purpose. Have the best of day, have a purposeful day, and of course have a purposeful life.
Thanks for staying on, and let's look at what's trending across social media platforms this morning. And of course, if you've watched the breakfast show for any length of time, you know that if Barcelona is trending, we'll bring it up. And yesterday, the Catalan club lost 1-0 to Rayo Vallecano, and the loss was not the trend, but the fact that someone got sacked in the morning is what's trending. I've been saying that Koeman needs to go. I mean, he's played for Barca before. He has an incredible record as a player, but as a manager, I've personally found him woefully inadequate. He hasn't been up to the task for yet. We've lost like 3-4 consecutive La Liga games, including El Clasico, which we lost 2-1 to Real Madrid on Saturday. So sacked in the morning. I've been singing it all day. He's getting sacked in the morning.
You were sacked in the night, right?
Koeman out. Koeman out.
You know my question. My question is for those of you who bet. These days I hear you can bet on anything. You can bet on who will get the first yellow card, who will be sacked. I wonder whether they even bet on coaches being fired. You, the people who bet. I'm just interested. All
I'm interested in is, you see, we are so that's the Barca's official Twitter account. FC Barcelona has relieved Ronald Koeman of his first sports post. Barcelona suffered a 1-0 defeat against Rayo Vallecano. The club announced the sacking of Ronald Koeman, former midfielder Xavi. Favorite to replace him, Xavi Hernandez is. I'm like, you won't get it. So let's just move on. So Koeman has been. Valerie doesn't know Xavi. So I can bet you she doesn't. So this was the goal that cost Koeman his job.
Charlie.
It was the last straw that broke the camel's back. So it's been coming for a long time, and the fans have been overly. Twitter can be a mean place. You should see the kind of messages people are putting on Twitter because Koeman has been sacked, and people who are rejoicing, others who are. The fact that we lost 1-0 to. Right, it's not even bothering people so long as Koeman out.
All those who love football teams, but they don't actually understand the technicalities of football, like me. Please gather around and let's have our own association.
Hold hands. Hold hands. So Xavi is the favorite to replace him, but there's a Ghana people like that's Xavi. One of my favorite Barca players.
What has he won before?
Sorry?
Has he won anything?
No,
as a coach?
That's Xavi Hernandez.
Yes.
He's a player,
Okay.
and he's just finished coaching. I'm sure this will be his top job as a coach since he started. He retired from international football in general.
Oh, so he has not coached any big team like Barca before?
No. So he's an old player. You see why I said you two? You are not.
No, this
you
is
don't
another
know
like
another only the way making.
Xavi is the favorite to be Barcelona's next manager, according to Romano. So we are hoping that Madrid is watching. You see, we are setting pace, and if you want to sack a coach, that's how you do it. So the board started contact with Xavi weeks ago. I need to throw that punch in just in case. You know, Manchester United. Apart from these two people, and my mom who doesn't know one, she can't mention one United player. Every other Manchester fan is not my fan.
Is he any good? Is Xavi good at coaching teams?
So that's what we will see. If he should get the job, that's if he beats Siki Akono. Ghana people are saying Siki Akono will be good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Siki Akono is trending, guys, because somebody went and said that Barca will employ him next as their coach. Don't do that. That man is sitting somewhere, minding his own business.
So, educate me. So, Xavi is like, is it like Ghana's Siki Akono?
No. Xavi is like, Asamoah is still playing. So, it's like Steven Appiah,
okay.
Having gone through like a coaching course and getting the required certificate and training and whatnot, coming back to be given a job as a Black Stars coach.
Okay.
But maybe on a club level. So I'm talking about Steven Appiah on a national level. Okay. But maybe if there was a club that had like a really prolific player that was really good. And
like Rooney becoming a coach and coming to coach Man U.
Like Ole coming to coach Manchester United. You get it now. Ole is not out. Ole is in. Ole is there now. He's still there. So,
so I get it.
So you get it now. So for those who are not like football fans, you just watch.
Like me.
Xavi Hernandez is a key favorite to get the job after Coleman was given the sack, and Ghana is also trending internationally because. Have you seen the Sodom and Gomorrah trend on Twitter? And that's because. A very, very high-profile bishop in the UK, Bishop Sarah, and also the Archbishop of Canterbury have come out to speak against Ghana's, what we've come to call the anti-LGBTQI plus bill. So the promotion of proper family values and whatnot bill that the MP for Ningo Pram Sam George and his colleagues are calling for. So this is the tweet from the Archbishop of Canterbury. I'm gravely concerned by the draft anti-LGBTQ plus bill due to be debated by the Ghanaian Parliament. I'll be speaking with the Archbishop of Ghana in the coming days to discuss the Anglican Church of Ghana's response to the bill. And so he issued an official statement on Twitter, and you can get the details of that there, expressing grave concern. What do we think about this? How do we feel about that?
Well, he's allowed to express his concern, but Ghanaians will do what Ghanaians will do. Yeah.
So the Archbishop of Canterbury is saying, in that statement, he's saying the majority of Anglicans within the global Anglican communion are committed to upholding both the traditional teaching on marriage as laid out in the 1998 Lambeth Conference Resolution 110 and the right of every person, regardless of sexual orientation, before the law. So he's saying we agree, we support the traditional definition of marriage and all that, but we also think that people need to be respected. People's choices need to be respected, if I can even paraphrase it that way. Yeah,
we go to her Twitter handle. It's Bishop Sarah M. And
so Bishop Sarah's one is also trending. So this, what I just read was the Archbishop of Canterbury's one. So Bishop Sarah, who we can see on the screen now, also tweeted, and she said, Ghana's proposed anti-LGBT legislation is unacceptable and must be resisted. It would promote fear and intolerance, putting the freedom of so many people under threat. We are all loved equally by God. My prayers are with the LGBT community in Ghana at this time. And this tweet, just like it's been retweeted 595 times with almost 2,500 likes, but the replies and people are saying, well, you don't accept polygamy in your country, but nobody is forcing you to do it, and the Sodom and Gomorrah trend coming in to say, you know, God punished these people for doing this exact same thing. If you are really men and women of the cloth, why are you promoting? Why are you asking people to do this? So it's a worldwide debate now, and so Ghana's bill has gone international, and now key people, key prominent people are adding their voice to that debate.
Yeah, it's something that people are thinking about in this country, and Parliament will definitely be debating it. I heard the Speaker saying that the vote will be open, and Mr. Koto Ampao is not happy with that statement that every MP will have to declare their stance
publicly
on the issue. So we're going to be in it for a long time. And it's not going to be, that bill, if it is passed, will not be passed now. It's going to take some time. I mean, I spoke to some MPs who said it's about a year.
It's a long way off, yeah.
It's about a year away, year and a half. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of talk in the media.
So yeah, that's also trending prominently in Ghana. Can I just go into my cheesy pizza question for yesterday? Some of the winners that we've got. So can we get the winners on our screens now? Yesterday we asked a question, and the 3 people who got the fastest fingers, the question was, Ghana Enterprises Agency was formerly known as, and the answer we expected was NBSSI. The answer we expected was NBSSI. The people who got the answer correctly first, Lawrence Addo from Teshi, Richard J. Obeng from Sotum, and William Addo from Osu. So the answer was the national NBSSI, the National Business, Small-Scale Business Industries, I think it was. So the winners on your screen, Lawrence Addo, Richard J. Obeng, and William Addo from Osu. You are our winners. Get in touch with the team and get yourself some vouchers to get some delicious pizza from Cheesy Pizza. And we are proud to be associated with Awake Purified Water, Shield Acrylic Paint, and Adonko Next Level Energy Drink. Also Lufat, anti-malarial medicine, Cheesy Pizza, of course, and KTO Eleganza for my lovely outfit this morning. Find them on Instagram, located at Osu. The Yellow Couch segments later on by Airtel Tigo. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1.
From farmlands and forests and towns.
They are gathered from farmlands and forests and towns. Nabasco is 60 years old. Hooray! Nabrongo Senior High School, in conjunction with all Navaskans, Nabia, invites you to the 60th anniversary celebration of the school. Theme: sustaining 60 years of quality education in Navasco. The role of stakeholders. Date: 1st to 7th November 2021, and the climax will be 5th November 2021. Venue: the premises of Navrongo Senior High School. Special guest of honor: His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Baumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Also in attendance, Minister of Education, Director General of Ghana Education Service, chiefs, opinion leaders, and many other dignitaries. All students, well wishes, and the general public are cordially invited to celebrate with Navasco. Navasco is 60 years, and it is worth celebrating. Be reminded that all COVID-19 safety protocols will be strictly observed.
This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Staying with us, you're still watching Breakfast on GTV. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. You should follow our social media handles. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Follow our pages, like our pages, share our content, and let us know what you think about our programs and the things that people say on our programs. We share a lot of content on those pages, so let's get interactive. You can also reach out to us on our WhatsApp number 055 556134. So you can share your thoughts on anything you see on the program with us on our WhatsApp line. We are grateful to our partners at Donko Next Level Energy Drink, Shield Acrylic Paint, and Awake Purified Mineral Water. And every bottle of Awake Purified Mineral Water that you buy, a fraction of it, so 1 Ghana pesewa of the cost of that bottle, goes to the National Cardiothoracic Center, and they use that to pay for the treatment of persons who cannot afford to pay for their care at the center. So you are helping to save a life when you buy Awake Purified Water. My lovely outfit this morning was put together by KTO Eleganza, so follow them on Instagram, go by the shop at Osu and purchase something lovely for yourself as well. Thank you, Katie and the team. Fidelia, good morning to you. Thank you for helping me pick this lovely outfit out. You can also share your thoughts on everything that we discuss on this program. We'll be having a conversation shortly about common headaches, and this segment is brought to you in partnership with Lufat. So Lufat tablet and suspension. Lufat is an anti-malarial medicine with 2 WHO recommended ingredients, that's artemether and lumefantrine, scientifically combined in the same formulation and preparation. Lufat comes in the form of suspension for kids and tablet for adults. It is used to manage malaria caused by all forms of the malaria parasite, including simple or uncomplicated malaria, as well as severe or complicated malaria. Lufat is taken after a fatty meal for 3 days for effective results. Lufat is a brand of anti-malaria you can trust from the market leaders. Lufat, Tobinco's premium gift to Africa against malaria. Lufat was further endorsed as the product of the year at the Ghana Pharma Awards 2021. a few of the messages that you've sent across to me. I asked a question at the beginning of the show, what you do when you have a headache. You didn't tell us your name, but here's a message saying, ginger, very good against headache. I think is good, and it's expected to promote your partner's products. I don't quite get that bit. I think the person is saying, let's leave room for grandma's recipes or other home or personal tricks that work even better as well. So thank you for sharing that with us. It's quite lengthy, so I'm having to just pick and choose which one. So we're asking you to share your thoughts on how you manage headaches when you are at home, and very shortly we'll be sitting down to have that discussion, and our doctor is getting ready to join the table. We'll be back after this break and we'll get into the details of the conversation. Breakfast is live on GTV. We are also streaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube. Share our content and like our pages and follow us as well, and we will get answers for you and address your concerns when we can. So we'll be right back after the break.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC, this is the Breakfast Show.
Thanks for staying on. It's the health check segment brought to you by Lufat Anti-Malarial Suspension for Kids and Tablets for Adults. So when you have a confirmed case of malaria, you take Lufat. We don't advise self-medication at this table for good reason, because our doctors have told us specifically that it's not good for us. But what do you do when you have a headache? And I'm sure everyone, including myself, we've all experienced headaches at some point in our busy schedules, and it affects people of all ages. It doesn't matter what sex you are, what age you are, you're likely to have had a headache. in your lifetime, but how do you treat it? A few of you are sending messages across, and I've been joined at the table by Dr. Brian Cox, the CEO of Spinal Clinic Limited, and he is going to share his expertise with us. Doc, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm very well. I don't have a headache, which is good.
Which is great.
But if I did, why would I be experiencing the headache? What would have caused it?
It could be numerous reasons. It could be stress. It could be a hangover.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many different reasons why an individual could have headaches. It could be the types of foods we put into our bodies, because unfortunately, a lot of us eat processed foods. Things like these Roman noodles that has these sauces in it. Things that have MSG, monosodium glutamate, aspartame. All these different things can affect you negatively, and it can cause the headaches to manifest in our brain. Sometimes the occiput could be out of alignment, and when the occiput is out of alignment, it puts pressure on the nerves and the arteries in that area, and that could also set off a headache.
Are there different types of headaches, or
is
it just one?
There are a few different types of headaches. There's the four main ones would be, cluster headaches, migraines, the common headaches, and I can't think of the last one right this second.
Okay, so cluster headaches, which ones are those?
Cluster headaches, they come for about...
We're seeing something on the screen now for the type of
those are the four types of headaches there. One is like more on one side. I can't think of which one it is at this present time.
Okay.
But one is more on... And this sheet doesn't show that. And sinus headache.
Okay.
The third one is the sinus headache. Okay. The migraine is the first one there. The tension headaches, but they have a cluster one which is on the right hand side, but they don't show that on there. But that's more of a tension headache. The tension headache is more right up in the front here as well. Okay.
So I'm seeing the sinus, cluster, tension, and migraine.
And the migraines. And actually, migraines is a regular headache, but it's just more intense, and it actually goes throughout your whole side of your body there. So a headache is just milder than a migraine headache. A migraine headache is something that's very intense. Now, some of these headaches can last about, 3-4 days straight, and that's a long time to have a headache.
Pain.
I've had, in fact, yesterday, this lady, she's been experiencing headache for like 10 years. In fact, she came into the office crying. She's only 22 years of age, and she's experienced these headaches.
So for 10 years, she experienced this since she was 12.
Since she's 12, she's been experiencing serious headaches, and she came in. She's a college student, and the young lady, after getting the treatment, she just felt so much better. So I highly recommend individuals come in and get chiropractic care, because until you actually experience it, a very bad headache, and getting relief through chiropractic care, you would not truly understand.
There are those types of headaches that are very severe, but they stop after a while. Are they cause for concern?
Yes.
Because if it stopped, then...
It stops. See, what most people end up doing is they'll take some type of paracetamol, and with them taking the paracetamol, it just hides the symptoms. It doesn't get to the root cause of the problem. And a lot of us, we over-medicate ourselves. Like you rightfully mentioned earlier, we put too much medication in our bodies, and it can affect us negatively. It can cause kidney issues, liver issues, and so many other issues as well. So it's just hiding the symptoms. But what I recommend is making a better lifestyle choice. Exercise more. Eat the right types of foods. Get more fruits and vegetables in your system. Drink plenty of water. In fact, that's a very good remedy, drinking water. I heard you say something about, someone said something about
someone
ginger.
sent us a message, Benjamin Latte from Jamestown, saying, I drink a lot of water, because I asked a question earlier on about what you do when you have headaches, and Benjamin responded and said, I drink a lot of water. Earlier on, someone said ginger. is a good remedy for headaches as well.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. Yes. Ginger, water, eating healthier, getting enough rest, because a lot of people have tension headaches because of not getting enough rest. The stress they have in their life through work, on their phone with their head bent down, on the computers for long hours of the day. All these different things can affect you and cause you to have those headaches, and you'll feel very uncomfortable.
I'm just wondering if medication, you've mentioned that it just suppresses the symptoms, but for most people the go-to remedy is to take painkillers.
Yeah, Advil, ibuprofen, all those types of things. But they don't realize the negative effects it has in the long run.
What effects could it have? You mentioned liver and kidney problems.
Long-term death.
Okay, that's final.
You know, I mean, even Michael Jackson, he died because of medication, because of painkillers.
So what's the alternative? You proposed lifestyle changes, eating well, getting some rest.
Drinking plenty of water, that's number one. Number two is, of course, chiropractic, exercising, getting enough rest.
You get better if you exercise when you have a headache?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exercise. Exercise, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of rest. You know, a lot of us, because we work so many hours, we have to get up and traffic and so forth, so on. We may not get the proper amount of rest we should, and we should at least get 6 hours of sleep in our bodies.
6 hours of sleep at least.
At least. That's how many hours we should get. 8.5 to 9 hours. We don't want to go too much over that, because you start to get depressed if you're sleeping too long. So, you know, too much of anything is not the best. Yeah.
And we are talking about people who may not be able to go to the hospital immediately they have a headache, or see a chiropractor like you're advising. So what remedies are there at home to manage headaches? You mentioned water and ginger. How can you prepare ginger to help you, get over a headache?
You can get some warm water, or put ginger in the water, or you can put it in a blender and then put some warm water in it and just drink it. Or put it in a microwave. If you want to be very quick, just pour the ginger, the grounded up ginger, in hot water in the microwave, and then just heat it up and then drink it. In fact, what my wife does, she'll put honey and ginger, blend it up and put it in the freezer, not the freezer, but the refrigerator, and then every morning we'll drink ginger and honey.
Okay, and what about those who have light sensitivity? Someone has sent a message and saying, sleep in a dark room, lay down in a dark room as a way of, bringing the headache, or making the headache go away, or making...
I think that would help the relaxation aspect of things. I've not tried that, so I can't really speak on that.
Because I was going to ask, what's the science behind laying in a dark room to get rid of a headache? But
I believe it's because of, when you're lying in a dark room, it's just like getting some rest, and maybe having some calming music, and just trying to relax your brain.
Poor posture is another reason why people have headaches that they don't know about.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, when we're in this type of position, it causes us... See, your head weighs 8 to 12 pounds. I think, did I tell you this before? Your head weighs 8 to 12 pounds. And when it goes forward 1 inch, it adds another 8 to 12 pounds. So it pulls the neck forward, and the back is going back. So it's causing the body to go in this type of situation, and it will cause a headache as well as upper back pain and neck pain as well. So it stretches and causes the nerves not to respond. Information from the brain down the medulla oblongata, down through the brainstem to the rest of your body doesn't operate properly, and it can cause the headaches to manifest. And sometimes the atlas, when the atlas, which is the first vertebrae in the body, shifts slightly, it puts pressure on you have the atlas and you have the second vertebrae. The second vertebrae has an odontoid, and sometimes that shifts to the right or shifts to the left. And when that happens, that can also cause headaches or dizziness as well in the body.
So when someone like that presents at the clinic, spinal clinic, what you attempt to do then for that person is to realign?
Adjust the spine, yes. And there's different types of treatments that I may do. One may be a toggle or NUCA. Those are upper cervical specific adjustments. Sometimes I would adjust the occiput, where I will use my piezoform, this part of my hand, and slightly adjust that area there, and the person instantly feels better.
So I'm reading about all the reasons why people get headaches, and a lot of the things you've mentioned: alcohol, particularly red wine, and processed meats, lack of sleep, and
red wine is a big one.
Okay.
Yeah, red wine is a big one.
Why red wine in particular?
I don't know why in particular. The red wine is causing these headaches, but I just read up on it that red wine can cause headaches.
Isn't red wine supposed to be good for the heart?
It's supposed to be good.
It's something that people tell themselves to have an extra glass or two.
One or two, but a lot of people may take more than one or two, and that's probably where it's coming from, because sometimes people overdo it when they drink their wine. I don't recommend drinking more than one glass of wine a day, because that's what the studies state. If you take one glass of wine a day, it actually helps your heart and you relax better. But most people don't stop at one. They will go further and drink two or three glasses of wine.
Or even the bottle, which is 4 glasses.
Or drink a whole bottle of wine. So that's why they could probably be having their headaches.
Okay, and I'm using myself as an example on this. I've read that when you skip a meal, you are more likely to get a headache, and I'm wondering why.
Because your body has a system of how it's supposed to be. If you're used to eating a certain, like let's say 3 times a day, and you miss that meal, your body basically says to you, I'm not supposed to be in that type of situation.
I'm not having that.
I'm not having that. And you then start to have the headache. Sometimes in fact, have you ever fasted before? When you fasted, you go through this detox period, and you start feeling pains throughout your body. It could be headaches, it could be dizziness, it could be so many different things. But that process starts to happen. Now, a lot of times during that fasting situation, when you start to have those headaches and things like that, it's actually a good thing. You need to let it continue its course.
So don't take medication.
Don't take the medication. Let it take its course, because it's detoxifying that body. So I recommend, like if you're drinking, let's say you're doing a water fast, drink that water. As you're starting to get these symptoms, these toxic symptoms in your body, continue its course, because what it's doing is it's actually giving you it's putting you through a healing process. So don't stop at that particular time. Let it take its course, and once you do that, your body will start to feel better.
There's a message here, and quickly, a suggestion that says, massage special spots on your face with your fingertips. Headaches coming with I think when you're menstruating, eat raw vegetables during the 2 or 3 days prior. Is that scientific?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, sometimes I will rub my members' heads as well. In fact, I even tell them to rub their heads if they're having headaches at the house.
Because we've seen people who have headaches and they've just rubbed their temple like this. Does that help?
That does help.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll tell them to press on the traps, right in this area here. It's like a tension, like if you feel, in fact, do this real quick.
Okay.
You can feel
that tension spot
right here.
Right there.
You can feel the tension spot, and sometimes that can also help to alleviate the headaches as well.
Thank you, Doc, for sharing the morning with us. Dr. Brian Cox is the CEO of Spinal Clinic Limited, and you can find them across social media. And we've shared his contact here before. Doc, quickly, do you want to share those?
Yes. I have 2 locations, one at Lashibi and one at East Legon. And the numbers are 0244-837-317. Again, that number is 0244-837-317. And the other number is 0246 199 503. Again, that number is 0246 199 503.
Thank you, Doc. Dr. Brian Coxey of Spinal Clinic located at Lashby and East Legon. You can reach him if you have a need for chiropractic care and others as well that they do at that clinic. Thank you so much, Doc, for sharing your morning with us. This segment was brought to you by Lufat tablet and suspension, and it is the suspension for kids and the tablets for adults. They help you manage all kinds of malaria, whether it's uncomplicated malaria or severe malaria, and you should take it for 3 days with a fatty meal for effective results. Is the brand you can trust, and it's Africa's gift against malaria. So that's Tobinco's premium gift to Africa, endorsed as the product of the year by the Ghana Farmer Awards 2021. Valerie is standing by to connect with our team on the outside as they monitor traffic. Valerie?
Thank you, T. Well, welcome to this side. We're going to be connecting shortly to my colleagues who are on the ground in parts of the capital. We're going to be connecting with Alan shortly, and Alan is on our screens now. Alan is at the Sakaman Junction. Alan, there's a lot of traffic behind you, packed up cars. What's happening on your side?
Hi, good morning, Valerie, and welcome to Sakaman Junction. Good morning, Ghana. This is Rush Hour on hashtag GTV Breakfast. I'm coming to you, as mentioned, from the Sakaman Junction. What you see behind me is traffic coming in from Malam Market and beyond. And so we have Malam Market, McCarthy Hills, and parts of the Akawe hospitals and its environs. There is a policeman at this junction who is helping with managing traffic, and for that matter, traffic isn't as bad or as terrible as it would usually be. What you have currently is the police officer intervening so traffic could flow in from parts of Dansuman through Sakama and then onto the Kaneshi Odoko Highway towards the Malam Market, or possibly onto the N1. This policeman is doing a yeoman's job. He's been on the beat ever since we've been here, and his management style to traffic is absolutely awesome. He's such a gentleman. Shortly before we came on air, a taxi driver who's short fuel in his vehicle almost ran into him, and avoiding the policeman nearly got us on the side of the road. But the policeman, with all patience and with all fatherly love, came to this driver asking why a commercial driver could short fuel at such a time of day. He would every now and then get drivers or commuters moving as long as possible, just so that the tailback will be cut. His way of managing Aboboya and also Okada on the stretch of road is awesome, and really and truly I'll recommend him for a national award if there's any such thing for motor traffic officers. He's just been joined by another officer who I suspect will be taking over from him since he's been here long enough. Yeah, but when we head towards Odoko, that's the camera panning towards Odoko for you, you have also traffic coming in from that stretch of road towards the Malam Market and beyond, as I mentioned earlier. Just as I am talking to you, a truck has just broken down and nobody knows why, and I have a slight reason to believe it would even compound the traffic situation on that stretch of road towards the Malam Market end. I see the policemen engaging one another to see if they can find a way to manage the traffic around that particular track. Whatever the reason is why this truck has suddenly come to a halt and isn't moving, only God knows. We're unable to say. But yeah, the traffic situation at this junction with the presence of the police officers is really very, very cool. And so if you're traveling from any part of that junction, coming from Dansuman or coming from Malam, you would not necessarily have to push your way through or force your way. The police are on the job and they're making a very, very good deal of traffic this morning at the Sakaman Junction. This has been the situation on hashtag GTV Breakfast. This is Rush Hour coming to you from Sakaman. Thank you very much, Valerie, and back to you in the studio.
We've just been speaking with Alan, who's giving us some traffic updates at the Sakama Junction and its environs. Traffic is building up steadily, so you might want to leave home now, or you might want to use an alternative route if you decide to leave home later. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast, and we are live on Facebook. We are streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on YouTube, and you can follow the hashtag Instagram on our Instagram handle and on our Twitter as well. Later on, CAF will be sitting down with his gentleman to discuss what's trending on the headlines and in the newspapers and online portals as well. And then we'll still have a conversation on the plight of widows and orphans. That's coming on later on in the show. And then later on, the segment that's sponsored by Airtel Tigo, which is the Yellow Couch, which is my segment, the lifestyle segment. I'll be having a conversation with the man in charge of the boxing ring here in Accra. His name is Bukom Banko, guys. We're going to try and get to know the side to him that Ghanaians don't really know. So you can send in your comments by hashtag GTV Breakfast on all our social media handles and on our WhatsApp number as well, 055-556-1034. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast. So you can send your comments in any of the topics we've discussed so far. You can send your comments and conversations in around, and then also you can send out videos and what's happening in your areas. If you want us to talk about issues as well, you can send videos and pictures and let us know where you're sending them from and your names. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast, guys. We'll take a quick break.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio.
Hashtag GTV Breakfast is the hashtag we use. If you want us to read your messages, you need to have that hashtag on your posts on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can follow us. Look for Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and we'll be glad to follow you right back. Headlines coming up. But before that, yesterday I posed the question on Facebook, and this is the question. So I was asking, will punishment by castration deter men from defiling children? This was a suggestion that the executive director of the National Population Council made, that if you just make one example of a person who does this, it will stop defilement of children. And you've been talking plenty. So I am Ramsey says it can help. Castration can help. Joseph Niyama says we have to be careful some of the ideas women suggest. Women are generally privileged, and some of them ungrateful, easily forget that they live in the world we built. I suppose it's a woman's idea to castrate a man for defiling a child. We will protect women at every cost, except we will not lose our balance during doing so. The punishment must be proportional to the crime. That simple. Humble Yasako says, yes, punishment for such acts need to be harsh enough so as to be deterrent. And an award scheme put in place for victims of such acts for reporting such issues. LLC says castration is the way to go if these types of men cannot control their feelings for children and babies. Zelda Kassim says it will go a long way to help, but deterring them completely, I'm not sure. And finally, Rodolphus Allswell Makafui says, I doubt it will be effective because they will find other ways to silence their victims. So big conversation going there on Facebook whether castration is the way to go. And we shall bring in Dr. Letitia Adelaide-Appiah, the Executive Director of the National Population Council, later on in the future, God willing, inshallah, to come and respond to issues of population and even LGBTQ and how it affects the whole population management and poverty and things like that. So we'll be doing that conversation in a short while. Yesterday's winners for the cheesy pizza were Lawrence Addo from Teshi, Richard Ejay Obing from Soutum, and William Addo from just here, Usu, not too far from GBC. Good. We're now going to dive into our headlines. Our WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034. 055-556-1034. If you have any views on castration and other hot topics, send your comments then. My guests this morning, to my immediate left, I have Sheikh Aremeyao Shaibu, spokesperson for the National Chief Imam, and I also have Reverend Kwabena Kodria. Gentlemen, you're both welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How is the National Chief Imam?
Old man is very well.
Is he following issues, or you say he doesn't watch news, he doesn't listen to the radio? But
we give him the briefing about what is happening.
What is the latest briefing you've given him so far?
But just yesterday we were together with him at Agogo in the Ashanti region.
Okay.
Where a Christian has decided to make a huge donation for the expansion project of a mosque at Agogo, Zongo. So whether the chief imam was there to lead in passing on the check to the leaders of the committee. If you're interested to know that Nana Krokon they are doing long term. Agogo Hene. I mean, he was there. He was so glad. He never believed chief imam would set his foot in Agogo,
but he was there.
It became really rare. So he was full of excitement. We are briefing the chief imam still about the issue that is that is pending. We're also talking to him about the issue of religion of law, because the IGP decided to meet religious heads, and I had the privilege to represent him, and we have briefed him about some of the outcome and what we expected to do, even from the side of Muslim, to assist the police to bring in the sanity and the order and public discipline that the country needs as a foundation and a pillar for real and meaningful development.
Awesome.
Any development devoid of discipline in society is wasteful, and out of indiscipline we will do damage to the age-long achievements and accomplishments of nations.
Thank you for that. And Reverend, your first time here, good to have you here. And what's new at your side, on your side? What should we be excited about?
Well, I think there are a whole lot of issues coming in, engaging the energies of Ghanaians. And to me, it's an honor to whatever little contribution that I can give to it, so that at least we shape policies in a way that will be beneficial to one sundry.
Okay, great stuff. We will dive straight into the papers. A couple of headlines I want to alert you to. So today's Daily Graphic, there's a story on page 17 which says, reject anti-LGBTQI plus bill, group urges parliament. I want us to look at that. First of all, so the Concerned Citizens Against the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2021, they have called on parliament to reject the bill, as it is unconstitutional and has no place in a secular democratic state. So this is the group that has been spearheaded by Mr. Akoto Ampao, the lawyer. So there are about 18 of them calling on Parliament to reject the bill. In total, they say groups opposed to the bill are not advocates for same-sex marriage. And this is a quote I want to give to you. Said by them. They say, we wish to clearly state that despite the misinformation in the public domain, neither our group nor anyone we know has introduced any bill in Parliament to legalize same-sex marriage. So they are basically voicing their opposition to elements in the bill. I want to start with you, Sheikh Arimiyao Shaibu. What do you think about what's going on?
I mean, I think that these are a group of individuals that personally I have relationship, contacts, friendship with them, and they are respected people for their high academic achievements, and that's why we call them profs and call them eminent people. But from the way they ganged up against this bill and the conclusion they made, you know, the initial position was calling for the total rejection of the whole of the bill. The concluding part, that's the way we understood it. If, look, there could have been some understanding in matter of dialogue if they had said, look, we are against this practice, but with respect to some of the elements in the bill, which we think either is extreme from the way that they see it, then it's a matter of engagement. But once you have come out to indicate about a thing that in our mind, in our consciousness as a nation, is abominable, damnable by divine mandate, and not also that, abominable because, like I want to repeat it, it's a violation of natural order and an attack and a war against the family. And I don't want to say the family values. Family values can be different. We can have variations. As a Muslim, I have my family value. The traditional people have family. Christians have family.
So you think it's an attack against the family?
But it's the family, the survival of the family. I think that we need to really situate this discussion in its right context, so that we avoid the risk of being misguided or miseducated using terminologies like human rights, freedom as guaranteed in Constitution, as provided in Constitution, or looking at constitutionality. These are words to use to disguise the very context of the discussion. And the use of words like hate, intolerance, these are, you see, distractions that have been taken to take away our minds from the core issue and the core concern. and to bring about these issues so that now the debate can be wider and so on and so forth. So I think that the great minds, of course they are influential people, and I'm worried. Some of them are lecturers. I'm worried.
Why are you worried?
I'm worried because these are, you see, teachers are so important. And you want to really reform people, you reform them at the level of the mind. Now, so if these are the people we put our children under to train them, bring them up, make them leaders worthy of our pride as a nation, and leaders who really think far in terms of our humanity as a nation and our true survival and our true development. These are the people who, that's why we put, and then they make leaders. These are the people that we put our leaders. For me, that's the worry.
So you're worried about
the
influence, potential influence of teachers on the minds of young people.
Reverend
Kodria, so I have read comments from the Anglican community, so the Archbishop of Canterbury in the UK, and then now the Anglican Bishop of London, who are basically echoing the sentiments of this particular group. They are saying Ghana's anti-LGBTQ plus bill is unacceptable and must be resisted. Again, Christians feeling the heat from Christians elsewhere in the world, especially those coming from the UK and the West?
Well, at times it becomes very amazing because, like the group that you mentioned just, to me, what are the provisions in the bill that are variance with our constitutional obligations? The sanctions or what? Armed robbery and others carry even the sanction of what? Death sentence. Why have they not risen up against that? I mean, you are saying human rights. What human rights? What human rights? Because here's a situation that people want to do what is not human. Human beings must try to be human. To me, same-sex relationship is never human. It is not human in any way. So if the Anglican Church in UK, wherever, if they have forgotten the Bible, that from which they get their morality, from which they derive their conscience, from which they derive their legitimacy, radically condemning same-sex relationship, then what is the problem with the UK Church? If they have lost their values, if they have lost their conscience, they should not forget that we as Africans were practicing what? Polygamy. And they came denouncing it. That is not good. Polygamy practice is not good. We embrace it in a way. And then you go back and come and tell us that polygamy is not good, but same-sex, a man is good for a man to sleep with a man. We don't get it. There's nothing human about it. And please, we must stand up against any encroachment, because after all, the authority that we have is the Bible, the Word of God. Not wherever the church is, whether in the UK, in the US, that's not authority. The authority of the Christian church is the Bible, the Word of God.
Are you expecting to hear something from the Anglican Church here in Ghana?
Yes, they must speak up. They must speak up. And they have to denounce and condemn it. They have no right. It is unnecessary interference. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. Already we have a myriad of challenges of our own that we must contend with. What we need is not man sleeping with man. What we need is not woman. We don't need woman sleeping with woman. You see, I mean, this is unnecessary aberration, distraction. Well, there are better things to talk of.
So the Anglican Church must speak up. So the religious authorities must voice their stand on this situation.
They must. You can't choose to be neutral at a point like this, at this point in time.
How about the traditional leaders? Because I'm looking at the front page of today's Newsday, and the headline is LGBTQI plus war. Why are the eminent chiefs and king silent? And then you have pictures there of Wachihini Amwetia of Repain. You have Yana Abubakar Mahama the second. You've got Togbe Afede Agbogumefia of the Assembly State, and you have Otunfo Osei the second. Pictures of them in their glorious regalia. And the news is asking, why are the eminent chiefs and king silent? Do you have any response to that?
As a people, as a nation, we have our values. We have what defines us as a people. It's not just that anything goes. We have our cultural values, our social values, and even our spiritual values.
Do you want the traditional leaders to talk?
And the traditional leaders, they are the custodian of what? Of our cultural identity.
Should they speak?
So they should speak, and they speak boldly and grandly. They should not seek to please anybody. They should come out and speak. Because the very foundation of our culture is being undermined. And if it's undermined, they lose their legitimacy and morality as what? As traditional leaders.
Let's move away from the chiefs to the legislators, because Mr. Akoto Ampao has tackled the speaker. The speaker is saying, listen, the voting on the anti-LGBTQI plus bill should be made public. Every Ghanaian should know what their member of parliament, how their member of parliament is voting. Mr. Akoto Ampao thinks it's wrong. What's your view? You back the speaker, or you back Mr.
I back the speaker. I mean, I've been very, very forthright and clear about it. The speaker made this, in fact, not this speaker alone, even his predecessor, Right Honorable Mike Quay. He even said he will not even, on the foundation of his Christian beliefs and values, he will not lead even a discussion on the matter in the parliament. He was so strong in his position. And I'm happy that the current Speaker of Parliament has also made a clear, public statement about his position on the matter. The Chief Imam was very happy with him and commended him when he paid him a courtesy call. So on that grounds alone, I cannot even contradict my own leader. So we support and then the idea of the open voting. You see, if it indicates anything, it's a strong indication of the fact that we want to be accountable to the people. You see, members of parliament, they carry leadership on the principle of stewardship. We put our mandate, our sovereignty and everything into a president and our law-making body. And that sovereignty which we've let out for us is a trust given to us by God and for his purpose. So when we give it to you, we expect that you'll be accountable to us on this particular matter that has to do, that lies at the very core of our religious beliefs with respect to the family, and then as a nation, and indeed even as Africans, and as Africans, in Twi, I don't know how in Ewe we say it, you know what I mean, the ebusuya, the family,
former.
Yes, I mean, the blood that holds the family together comes through birth line. You give birth to people, and that's why before you become a king, you must fall within a certain line of family. You must qualify by your bloodline to be able to make it. So where do we go with this? Look, this thing makes nonsense completely. It makes nonsense completely of our family beliefs, our beliefs. It will kill it, and when it kills it, it's going to affect our kingdom. So today, with these great kings, the very foundation of their elevation to this position will crumble beyond any repair. Completely irreparable will do it. And so it is important that as a matter as serious as it is to us, that I like the speaker's position that let's make it open and let's see those who will vote for and vote against it.
Reverend Kodria, Mr. Akoto Ampao, he is disappointed that the National Commission for Civic Education and the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice are silent on this anti-LGBTQ plus bill. What are your feelings on his comments?
No.
Should they be speaking?
What is the problem of Akoto Ampao? Is it legitimizing what? That so-called LGBTQ plus. What is the plus? The plus, what does it stand for? what does it stand for? You see, we've got to be very, very serious.
What do you think it stands for?
I can't speculate. You see, so tomorrow they will come that, look, if you feel like just taking the lady on the street and sleeping with her, it is plus. If you feel like sleeping with a pig, it is plus. What is that? Why should we allow such evil holders to run some? The whole thing is evil, the genesis of it. That's why I said that it is even unhuman. Unhuman. Brother, let us be serious. So whatever it is, the values of society are being undermined. The foundation is being shaken. What is society going to be if men are sleeping with men and women are sleeping with men? We perish. We become extinct like some other species. Look at me. The whole thing is an advocacy of what? Lawlessness. There's a natural order. We should understand that there's a natural order. And this world has an owner, whether you believe or not. That's why the air that we are breathing. I'm breathing the same air, the president is breathing the same air, the richest man is breathing the same air. Nobody even thinks of how he's going to get the air to breathe. There's a natural order and there's an owner. And that natural order means that a woman at a certain ripe age and a man at a certain ripe age can come together and have intimacy. See, why is it that there are laws even regulating that you just not can get up as a man and then sleep just with anybody? It must be consensus. So all that these people are driving at, we are saying that this thing, like armed robbery, why are they not speaking against the laws that prohibit armed robbery? Even some carry death sentence. Because society frowns upon it. It's about society. And society regulates the conduct of its members. You just cannot that because you feel it, you must do it. No, it is not acceptable. That's why it is said that your freedom even ends at where somebody's freedom also begins. So collectively, how do we manage things so that we all can enjoy the benefits of freedom? And so if a group says that we feel like sleeping a man sleeping with one, we say that it is unhuman and it cannot be accepted, it cannot be tolerated. This is not hate, this is not intolerance. Because there are laws and regulations to regulate the civil conduct of society. So that you just cannot start and say that you are doing what you want. Look at the recklessness on our rules. Because like the Sheikh was saying, there's no discipline, there's no order. So a driver can just stop in the middle of the road and start picking up passengers. And we should not add to these issues because already there's so much that is bogging us down. And we have to come up. Yes, the eminent professionals, educators, but that's not the issue. What is the spirit of it? The whole spirit behind this is evil. The spirit behind the LGBT, it is evil. It does not come from God. It does not come from God. And it should not be countenanced even for a moment.
We want you to respond to what you've heard from our guests. You agree? You disagree? Would love to hear from you. 055-556-1034. Reverend Kwabakudia and Sheikh Aramiyal Shaibu are my guests this morning. Let me go to the messages and check out what's going on. Good morning, Mr. Host. I think that would be me, right? Okay. The pastor's opinions. So the chiefs. Are they afraid of the president? Why are you bringing the president into this? Good morning. Nicholas says he wants to know why the chiefs are not speaking. Are they afraid of the president? I don't think any chief is afraid of any president at all. Good morning. I'm totally against this LGBTQ plus bill. The plus is what worries you. The plus. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. This is a discussion to talk about. Okay, so you're talking about other things. Really, a lot of women are entering into these evil acts which has affected their livelihoods and their health. Tricia Planche, and thank you so much for your messages. Another one here I want to read here for you. Okay, somebody's talking about highly scented perfume that can cause migraines, but that was a conversation from the previous chat. So we'll keep it there for now. Keep them coming in on 055-556-1034. Also in the news these days is Aboboya. The motorized tricycles. I heard yesterday that is the English name for Aboboya. And our regional minister, Greater Regional Minister, wanted to ban them the movements, and now the ban has been taken back to February of next year. The minority believe that a ban on Oboboya is unconstitutional, and that the Greater Accra Regional Minister has no right to ban these vehicles. And I'm sure you encounter them in traffic every day. They have their uses for carting rubbish to the landfill sites, but they also menaces a lot of travel without lights, registration numbers. Risks of accidents are very high. What's your thought on this back and forth about the Abuboya and the motorized tricycles, Sheikh?
Yeah, I think that when matters of policy that are intended to bring sanity, to bring development, to facilitate, I mean, traffic, when it comes so heavy, it has ramifications in terms of what it means to us, even on the economy, on productivity. The time that you need to reach office, for example, I was a teacher before, I was at administrative level, and I expected teachers to come to school between certain hours and begin their work, because the absence, you must think about the absence of a teacher 1 hour late, or his absence or his lateness from school, 1 hour, what it means to about 45 children in P1 or 45 children in P2. That 1 hour loss, what does it mean?
The impact is great.
The impact is so great. Yeah. And you come to me and say, no, I want to understand, you cannot use traffic as an excuse to me. You are being paid to come to come. But the reality also is that's the reality it's confronted with. The traffic is so heavy. So there must be a way by which we transform the situation. That's why I like some of these, the idea of expansion of roads, new developments with respect to this work at overhead bridges, where you break down the weight of the traffic because you can have different channels. I think that, so it has to do with our road network that we need to work on very well. In the meantime, once people need to survive, let's find a way by which that will bring about a change that will not be injurious, or that will not subject people to too much of difficulty, so that as we move on, we eradicate this. If you ask me, I would say ultimately we must eradicate them. Ultimately, we must eradicate them, because the menace on our roads, I have escaped a risk before. I've been driving behind one of these Abuboya on a highway. I'm traveling to Takoradi, just by myself. All of a sudden, he drove across. It's only God. I would have hit him, and I wouldn't know what would happen. I had to now maneuver with my steer, because he never showed trafficator. He was just on a highway. So those things. And in Kumasi, just yesterday I came from Kumasi. I mean, we see them. They don't care. In this Pragya.
The passenger ones.
The passenger ones. In the Zongo, we call them Adede Tisafu.
What does it mean? I want to know. Adede Tisafu, what does it mean?
That is make the road straight.
And the word is what?
Adede Tisafu.
Adede Tisafu. It's Hausa.
It's Hausa.
Make the road straight. Yeah. But they're risky.
Yeah, they're risky. They can stop it, they can turn their steam, they want to make U-turn just in the middle of the road because it's easy for them to turn, and so on and so forth. So let's make the regulations very strict for them to be able to maneuver, but ultimately we can do away with them when we improve the road networks, expansion, or we create a certain path for them. Because they are more
Abuboya lane.
That is it, because they are more in city. They don't travel across.
Okay.
So more in city. So if that can be considered, just an idea, it can be considered, then as we get there, then finally we can say that we are doing away with them, and then we provide a better means of transportation.
Reverend Kodri, these are very interesting suggestions from my transport policy advisor right now, the Honorable Sheikh. Do you have any other ideas on how we can make this safe for everybody and also ensure that people don't lose their livelihoods?
Yeah, you see, I think we always want to resort to that knee-jerk reaction, fire service approach. Yes, it's a menace. That is indisputable. But how did it come about? Already, we have a problem of employment. So people, survivor, to push people to do something to eke out a living. Now, the problem now is that a lot of people have taken to this Abubu and other things without requisite training. They don't even understand the rules and regulations. So far as you can get behind the steer and turn it, you are going. And that's where the recklessness and the danger is. So how do we regulate it? Look at this Okada thing. When it started, now it has become a menace. Even they don't mind traffic regulations. Going through red, one way and other things. And the police look on unconcerned. The MTTD, whatever they have to do, they don't do it. And eventually, this Abubu thing too is going to what? Is going to degenerate into that situation. I think out of frustration, the regional minister, well-meaning, Matafishu the ban.
You think he was frustrated, eh?
Because the way those phones are creating problems on the traffic. Yes, I'm just saying it. I have not spoken to him. I don't know him.
But that's how you feel.
So I think he must also sit down with them, engage them. It's very, very important.
Yes. I actually heard him yesterday on City TV talking about engaging the leadership of these people.
Engage them because most of them too have families that they must support. See? So how do we do it? We are talking that they should not use the highways. Are there any other alternative routes that they can use if they avoid highways?
Okay.
See? So I think it is very, very important. Engagement is very, very important because at this critical point in time, life has become tough for almost every home. See? And when people are trying to eke out decent living, and then we come with certain measures that you think we're addressing a problem, but you are creating more problems. So we have to balance all this and make sure that at least they also can ply their trade without being a nuisance to the larger society.
Okay, so planning is really important. We need to make sure that you provide the access routes, because if you say we have banned Abuboya from using the motorway, but they still need to get to the landfill, what's going to happen? It means everybody's going to be routed towards the Teshi Nungwa. So you're not going to have a long logo line of Abuboya using Teshi to get to Pung through Tema, and so thereby creating another problem. For those of you who are outside of Greater Accra, what is the Abuboya Pragya situation? And make the road straight. What's the word?
I did it Safu.
I want to know what the situation is.
Yes, entered even the rural areas.
Pragya has penetrated the rural areas. Seriously? Wow. So for those of you who are using these modes of transport and experiencing them in traffic, I'm just curious. I want to know what your experience is like. Our WhatsApp number is there for you. 055-556-1034. 055-556-1034. We've looked at the...
But let's commend the regional minister. I think he is showing a certain leadership.
Yeah.
Now everybody is saying, if you mention about cities that look good, or countries where there's order, everybody's pointing at Rwanda.
Indeed.
But Rwanda didn't come from the sky.
Yes, exactly.
It took leadership.
Yes.
Sure.
And they had a genocide in 1994.
Look, I mean, what happened
27 years ago?
Coming out of that very deadly situation, they've seen the need for them to see a direction towards meaningful development. And they have shown the way, and they have succeeded.
So leadership is key.
So leadership is key, and I think that the regional minister now also, is getting inspired by some of this model of leadership. Wants to see Accra is a capital city. We must see public order in the city. We must see discipline. We must maintain beauty in our city. Yeah. That's why we say other cities are nice. Let's make Accra the same.
Yeah.
Let's order. Look, you got pavements. I can't accept walking on a pavement or quadrangle. Things made horticulturally to beautify the country. I think we need to really up our sense of beauty, because you see, once you have a sense of beauty, you will never be destructive.
Once you have a sense of beauty, you will never be destructive. Yeah. It's a quote that you can take in your pocket today from the Sheikh, who is here with Reverend Kodia. I'm reading your messages before I look at the next story. Coming in on 055-556-1034. Keep up the good work. May Jehovah God bless you. Please, we all know that whenever we pass our messages to you, the media, it always works. So this morning, you want to say that the president is the right person to shout down this topic about the so-called LGBTQI+. Thank you. Have a good morning. Thank you very much. Always add your names in the messages so we know who we're talking to. A great program. The plus means anyone can add more. So the critical question is, if I decided to marry a baboon, of all the beasts you chose, why a baboon? If I decide to marry a baboon or any other animal, should it be sanctioned or society just sit by? And if they produce children, are they human or what? There's no way a human being and a baboon can come together. That would be a freak of nature. But I get your point. More messages coming in here. Now you're talking about the motorized tricycles, aka Aboboya. The issues of the tricycle banning is the way to safety. No debate. You disagreed with the Sheikh when he suggested that in future we should create a way for them. The solution is the government should stop those importing these vehicles into the system.
Exactly.
They should be sent to the remote areas for cocoa farming and palm plantation. So that's another angle to the whole Aboboya debate. Maybe they should become farm vehicles.
Implements.
Yes. But you see, the lane suggesting to also work in other countries where they have a huge bicycle population and they create lanes for them. You go to the Netherlands, you have bike lanes. You have areas where vehicles don't even move around.
They have planned it.
Yes, and it's planned. So the key word is planning. See it in your mind first, think of the consequences, and then you move. Valerie is jumping in pretty soon with Keep an Eye and her friends on the other side of town. But let me read a couple more messages before I get the signal from her. This is Bernard Ewa. The Christian Council must stand up firmly and speak against LGBTQI+. For God is watching. God's hands are on Mother Africa, and his anger and furnace will burn us quickly when we allow gays and lesbians all in the name of human rights. Very poetic language there. I'm even feeling the heat. The fairness that you're talking about. We have a big problem with our sanitation system. This is Togbi Ghana. We have to look at recycling and reuse, not waste generating. Togbi Ghana is the Ghana Sanitation Personality of the Year, so he's talking about issues to do with sanitation. And last but not the least, before Valerie comes schmaltzing in, good morning. Concerning LGBTQI+, I think the mere act of speaking positive about it should be criminalized. Hey, wow. Anyone? Oh, you agree? Eh? You agree? You agree that the moment you talk, we
should not waste our time on it.
We shouldn't waste our time.
No.
Okay. Yeah, but that is the element of the bill which advocating for it. I mean, that's
okay. All right. Anybody who comes out openly to defend must face the wrath of the law. And let me have your names. Okay. So great. Those are your comments. We'll look at probably one more story before we wrap it up. But her hair is wrapped up in a nice bun. She's smiling beautifully. Her name is Valerie, and she's got some news for you.
Yes. Thank you for joining us on this side of the breakfast table. We are going to be we're going to Ashama now. There's an area called Underbridge. We are talking about the deplorable state of roads in that part, and it leads all the way to Ashalibuchi and the Adentan barrier. My guy Jay is on the beat and he's ready to tell us what's happening. Jay, what's happening?
Thank you so much, Val. So, like you rightly said, we are the bridge area here, and this is where this morning we'll be keeping an eye from. So, usually on Keep an Eye, we like to highlight issues that are worrying the ordinary citizens. And fortunately for us, somebody who stays in the area here, who usually plies his trade on this route, reached out to their team and complained and bemoaned the situation of their road network. So they reached out to their team, and this morning we've come to realize that what he's saying is true. So this is where we'll be keeping an eye from this morning, under bridge here in Ashama. So what we see here, this road connects all the way from here, going all the way to Ashalibuchi, going to Adenta barrier, and if once, so commuters don't even have to use the Tema motorway. But what happens is, because of the deplorable nature of the road, road users have to avoid the side altogether and go and use the motorway in order to get to either Adenta Barrier, Ashalabuchi, or Ebri, the mountains itself. So this morning, I'm happy to have with me Samuel, who is going to give us a brief, tell us, he's the one who invited us here, and tell us how long they've been in this condition. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Good morning.
So please, your name and what you do.
Please, my name is Samuel Adasu. I'm a taxi driver at Ajekojo Sun City.
Okay. So tell us, why did you bring us here this morning?
We brought you here this morning because we are having a bad road. This road links to Asariboke, Adenta Barrier. If they happen to be constructed, nobody that is going to Ebri or Kofodia have to use motorway. They can use this road and then link to Ebri and Kofodia easily.
Okay. So tell us, as a driver who usually uses this side, what happens to your vehicle after a long day of work?
Okay, with our vehicles, when you buy spare parts, it will not last. Within 4 days, the spare part that you went and bought, we just got spoiled again, and you have to go and then buy new spare parts.
So have you tried appealing to the assembly, maybe your MC and all that? I understand you also pay motor tickets. How do you call it? The vehicle income tax. So why when you appeal to the authorities, what do they say to you?
Okay, with our MP, he says here is a farmland. So if they will do it, we have to get permit on our lands that we bought before they can help us.
Okay. I noticed there's a market here. Is there any way that the nature of the road affects those who do ply their trade also there as well?
Yes, it affects those that they bring the food from the food starts from the hinterlands to the market, and then this market too serves the community of Ajekojo, Tema, Klagon, Nunga, and Spintes.
Okay. So we are wrapping up the conversation. I just want to ask you one last time to appeal to authorities to come and fix this road as soon as possible, in like 30 seconds, if you can.
Okay, we are appealing to the government to fix our road for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that is Samuel giving us a very brief reminder to the authorities to come and fix their roads as soon as possible. It is a shortcut leading all the way to Adenta Barrier and even Ebri. Once it's done, people don't need to use the motorway, which is a little more dangerous than using this side of the road. So this has been Keep an Eye here from the Underbridge area in Ashama. Back to you, Val, in the studio.
Thank you, Jay. So that was Jay who came to us with that report from the Underbridge intersection area around Ashaman. Very soon we'll connect to my colleague Alan. Alan is at the Malam market now, and he says that crowds are gathering. The market women there say that they are under threat from land guards who keep stealing from them. And they have issues with the road networks as well, and then there are lots of sanitation problems there. So in a bit we'll be going over to Alan to hear what he has to say, and the market women are gathering. I mean, he sent us videos here, and you should see lots and lots of crowds of people who are willing and ready to speak to us about the land guard issue there. Meanwhile, the show is interactive, so you can join the conversation via our WhatsApp number 05555610034 or our Facebook using the hashtag GTV Breakfast. We are streaming live on Facebook, streaming on YouTube as well. And then our show is made possible by Awake Purified Water, Adonco Next Level Energy Drink, Shield, Acrylic Paint, Cheesy Pizza, and then later on the lifestyle segment of the show on the Yellow Couch is by kindness of Airtel Tigo. Alan will be on our screen shortly. He's reporting from the Malam market, where the market women, they say they're under threat from land guards who keep stealing from them. They have issues with sanitation, and the road access as well is pretty bad. While we wait to connect with Alan, there are some messages that probably on our WhatsApp and our Facebook. Kaf will be reading them shortly. That is, if we do not connect to Alan. And so I'm going to hand over to Kaf to read some messages quickly, and then we'll wait to connect to Alan.
Yes, back in the day, President Rawlings said, hand over to who? That question has been answered. You are handing over to me. Messages coming here. The mobile ban on highways is very appropriate. It must be supported. It's for the good of both passengers and owners of the tricycles. They can easily be blown off the road by speeding vehicles, and it's really true. They're not that very heavy. So big vehicles pass by, and you can see them actually shaking, dancing dances that they shouldn't be dancing on the roads. Wassalamu alaikum is a message that has just come in. Alaikum salam. This is Farouk Adams. Even though this is the first time you are sending us messages, you think that the whole LGBTQ plus, I plus is bringing the world to an end. Should not be encouraged. And you have an important question to ask the LGBTQI plus guys. Quote, if their parents practice this LGBTQI plus, would they have given birth to them? Rhetorical question from Farouk Adams, named after the first man on earth. Good morning. My name is Ustaz Mutawakli and Mutawakil in Accra. You say it's foolish behavior, but you see, you can be a fool and you can fool, but you can't fool the people all the time. So Abraham Lincoln's quote has been remixed here for us. A couple more messages. This is a teacher at Future Leaders International School, and you're telling us that basically this whole you can't understand the LGBTQI plus issue. I think Alan is almost there, but before that last message, you say you are a Christian, but listening to the Sheikh is always fun. The voice and most importantly the content of what he says, I do agree with both of your guests. Sheikh, you sound very much like a broadcaster. We should give you a show, you know. Yeah, you have a great voice. Yeah, they are loving the resonance.
You know,
don't you agree?
I have been on the media for about 3 decades of my life.
You still sound like a broadcaster. Yeah, really nice and rich.
People think I'm a journalist. I'm not.
No, you are a broadcaster. You love your voice. Yeah, and I also love her voice and her smile.
Great.
She's on to talk to us from the market with Alan. Go ahead, Val.
And so, like I promised, Alan is behind us now on our screens, and he's at the Mala market where there are some market women who have some concerns. And so, Alan, you might want to tell us what's happening on your side of things. Okay.
Hi, good morning, Valerie, and welcome to the Mala market. You will agree with me that 85% of the fresh fruits and vegetables we eat come from the market. And at a time when we're all conscious of our hygiene and our health, indeed it would be unconscionable to think that a market is subjected to conditions that are not health friendly. The Mala market has 3, 4, 5 issues, and arriving here this morning obviously needs no telling. You can clearly tell the agitations of the market women. Now, one of their major problems is to do with sanitation, and over time they have engaged the assembly to help facilitate the clearing of the market and also ensuring that they live in a healthy environment and do their business. But that has failed. One also is the activities of land guards. Land guards have become a bane, and they come to market every morning to find their stores broken into. Why? Because the land behind the market, earmarked for a car park, is currently being hijacked by land guards, and they're selling them off. And if you go over there, my eye in the sky would help you, give you a good picture of that. You'll find that suddenly structures are coming up on that side, and nobody has authorized this. The district commander of the police service around the Ablekuma North Municipal Assembly, as well as the district chief executive, the MCE, and the assembly member for this electoral area have all done whatever they can in their power, but the land guards will not go away. I happen to speak to the market manager, Master Nathaniel Beaumont, who has agreed to put us an interview this morning. And so I'm going to go across to him and find out why this gathering this morning and what the whole noise is about. Good morning, Mr. Beaumont.
Good morning.
Speaking to you earlier, you mentioned you have issues with land guards and stealing in this market. Can you tell us exactly what it is like?
Yeah, we are experiencing thievery in this market, and we are appealing to the general public, that to the authorities, that there are langas in this market that are coming from the wager environs, and they are operating under the command of Ni Pampankun, Ni Okofu, claiming that the whole Mala market lands belongs to them. And the women over here, when sometimes people have been breaking into their shops and have been making away with goods, and the way things are going on, we don't want it. We are asking the authorities, Mr. IGP, Mr. President, so that you will come to our aid. What is going on here? They said they have made laws against Langard. So what is going on in Mala market here? We can't take it anymore. Our women says they will be on the street if the authorities, Mr. IGP, can never bring Ni Okufu-Obuo, Ni Papanku and his people to book. They will be on the street naked to the Jubilee House because Ghana is a lawful country. Ghana is not a lawless country.
Mr. Beeman, let's look at the sanitation issue here. What is the collaboration between the market management and the local assembly, and how are they helping you in order to make sure that you trade in a healthy environment?
Yeah, with the sanitation problems here, we have been having talks with the assembly, and they have provided us with a control bin over them. But that is not enough. We need almost about 4 or 5 that can be placed at the far back there, so that the women can go and dump their refuse inside them. The one at the frontage there, it is not good. How can you place a control bin, a refuse bin by the ceremonial road, so that at that place the women are selling around there, and the stench alone is not good for the market? So we are appealing to the authorities, to the Ablekumanop municipality, so that they will come to our aid, so that the containers, the control bin, can be around 4 or 5.
I will have to interact with some of your women. I can see the excitement on their faces. I'm not sure who will want to speak to us. And let me grab the madam behind you. Madam Bocho, what catch him?
But I made the Gladys Aibunte.
Gladys Aibunte, Mpocho, Hano, a damn party and Muha, Papa can be a chair there. Now, Mumu and Nisumuno is saying. But
how are you, Hano? Gwana was no won wientem se sulu toto sa hanin suta atachane ntimbane ntumataza maye ena langa to for han wa papa nyame anim no kwani ene kro no se ye fa ye tete ya na madra adabati baba no na we bewia enti ye sra won wo bubu containers what the sekata atan ye panyi de bre or kwa de ne mba no benya ye fa hodi ye bre wa papa enti ye sra ba no meboanye ye ni contractor na akasa o se oni mpanifo kasa but ye bese ye na agufom ye ni abre ye sra won bebre kwase loan ye akwaje edi ye adwuma enti ye panechon so to so ye wo mi no enti ye sra mombo aye na omo ye adwa no manye cha mani aba
yeah. Fine, we are going to talk about it.
I'm going to talk about it. Low shikani. Low shikaji no kachoni. Nanga biye kama esane biye oneko. Aya court na ma wiye jeme. Shika la mena te sempe ba. Eba. Weja ba eba. Langa ni yose. No wonya oba ejole biye. Da na yose but wo shika ka biye ayo de wonye. Aya court na ma ye. Ama ata o monino ni wo wale ko wani omo.
O fine yo. Be tani o manyaba. Mino ta wo ke mi
over the no me ton my we me ye do wa no na me we blow wa me nya me we me acha me charity je po e o lo e bi e man ke pe ni ba da ni ma ba bi e to ba pe mi agbani ke ba hu e nyunmo be ba yi mi aye se la bi e shetani ka me ba pe ne da na me tak mi na se nta bi e mo ko kan to na ite na ba jo na me jo ame ke ke le ni yue ame ka kakra ba tu mi no ni to me ko me to e wo nya no ni eyan mo ye market me anya fe awo no fe ka te shaka politics ni je politics na yo no ni wa yen me one pin
o fine yo charity o fine o yo adon no we ne government enu e ba tun eni anya. All right, so that's the situation at the Mala market. The women being harassed by the guards, their sanitation issues are not properly resolved, and their health is at risk. even though they have come to look for an ends meet. Thank you very much for joining us from the Mala Market. This is #GTV Breakfast.
Thank you very much. So that was Alan who came to us from the Malam market, and the images are still on the screen, guys. The market women are not happy, especially about the alleged landlords who break into their stalls and what's not. So to the authorities that be, we know you listen and you watch us, so over to you. And then I'm going to hand over to Kaf as well to continue discussing what's trending on the headlines with his guests.
Definitely trending in the Malam area. Thank you very much, Valerie and Daryl. Your concluding remarks as we wrap up the conversation. I'll start with you, Reverend Kodia, from what you saw, and then your concluding remarks today.
About the Malam market?
Yes, yes.
You know, this issue of land gas, this issue has persisted for so long. Why can't we just rip it off? Why? Because it is obvious that the security of our women is being, threatened. And as if we are helpless about it. Any problem that confronts us, we are not able to deal with. Then we are compounding the problems. Immediately, we must respond to the challenges confronting our women at the market. You see, and as if nobody cares what happens to them. Still, why can't we have markets that even they are so filthy? The markets are so filthy. When it rains, you can't go. I mean, we talk of development, we talk of progress. What progress are we making as a people? To me, we are stagnating, we are going back. Because this is not the time that we should be building this setup of markets. Our markets must be modern, must give comfort to the traders, to our women. See? And they are talking of sanitation, they are talking of security. I mean, why should it be so? If they need 5 bills to be able to address the sanitation issue, what is preventing whoever should do it from doing it? It seems people placed in positions they don't even care about what they must do. This is the problem for our country. People placed in authority don't care. And see, the pursuit is what I can get, what I can get. And this is what has run the nation down. So whoever must act with dispatch. The IGP, whatever, must make sure there's adequate security, and the land gas must be ratted out immediately. Even if you should tell the military to go and deal with them, we should do it. We should do it. Because when the military goes, you get those who come and talk about what? Human rights. But what the women are going through, is that not human rights being infringed upon? Is that not human rights? Should we sit down for the land guards to mutilate them before we cry? The military must go and just get them out wherever it is. And whoever, the needs that they make mention, they must bring them to book. I mean, it seems we are treating people with so much kid gloves. So everybody can get away with any silly thing. And all this is engaging attention. This should not be engaging attention at this time.
What do you say to somebody who says also for cool down?
No, it's annoying.
It's annoying, eh?
It's very disgusting.
I mean,
it's very disgusting. Indeed. I mean, look at the plight of the women.
I feel the passion.
They don't deserve that.
They don't deserve that. I feel the passion in your voice. Thank you so much, Reverend Kwabena Kodia.
I mean, I respect you, man. If you mess up with them, I mean, I will get up to you. I mean, they go through a lot.
You put a collar aside and deal with that.
But Jesus took the whip. It was the change to the whip. We must cram the whip at any time. We must protect our women. We must protect them. We must respect them. And we must make them feel human.
Thank you so much. I'm sure they are giving you big, loud cheers of approval for your comments. Thank you so much, Reverend Kodia. Sheikh, I'll leave you the last word. Sheikh.
Yeah, I think with respect to the last phenomenon that we saw, one, it has to do with law enforcement. Probably on addressing this matter has not been that effective. I think traditional authority also has a problem. The issue of multiple sales of land is an issue. Then property owners, those who own the property themselves. Now these are citizens. So, you know, the land is there. You know, somebody has already bought it. You also go to buy it. So it's part of our own indiscipline. And the competition to acquire much is what is leading us to this. So I think there must be a certain coordinated efforts between all these: law enforcement, traditional authority, property owners, and our legal system. So you see, if the legal system is not effective in addressing some of these matters, you leave the people to take it onto their own hands. Look, I will protect it myself, and to do so, I want somebody who I will give drugs to give him drugs, give him arms, give him small money, and he will stand and kill without feeling anything about it. That's the land guards. I mean, they can dispossess you of your land, attack you at night, and so on and so forth. So if the law is not working, then we're all at risk, because today one person is at risk, tomorrow it is you. You go buy your land, and the land guard comes to you. So let's allow the legal system to work and work effectively in addressing these matters. Law enforcement must also be so effective. Traditional authority, we respect them so much. They are the repository of our values and our cultural wisdom. That's why we need leadership. They should not let down the sanity and the sanctity of this leadership. So multiple sales should not be part of their practice. Multiple sales of land should not be part of them.
Sheikh, shukran.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. Arimiao Shaibu is the spokesperson for the National Chief Imam, and Reverend Kobna Kudia was his co-panelist on today's show. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I wish you the very best. Have a beautiful day. Headlines you need to be worried about or thinking about: junkies, mental patients occupy Accra streets. Front page of today's Ghanaian Times. President hands over operational vehicles to Ghana Armed Forces. Stop indiscriminate sale of land marked for community development in Greater Accra region. STC is in trouble facing financial crisis. State Transport Corporation loses 50 million cedis to COVID-19. Appeals for urgent bailout. These are some of the headlines in the papers. Please grab them and educate yourself. This is GTV Breakfast, and we're looking at issues that are coming up in the news with Thelma, and then Buko Banko comes here towards the end of the show. Maybe he'll give Valerie a boxing lesson. All right? Who knows? You stay with us. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. There's a lot more. We're talking about widows and how to take care of them as well on the show. Really important. So you stay with us. Don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast.
Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC.
You promised to give me water. This water is coming from the gutter. It will make me sick.
Your Honor, that is it. Due to the galamsey activities of the accused and his cohorts, they have polluted all our water bodies. See, this water is coming from our taps. They have destroyed all our forests, and above all, the activities are killing people.
Mr. Eja, you have been found guilty of indulging in galamsey. And since you don't want to mention the names of your bosses, you have been sentenced to 25 years in prison. This is my judgment.
Please, I will talk. Mr. Francis is bad. Mr. Martin is bad. Mr. Usu, please, Your Honor, please.
Yenja, got him say. Yenja, got him say.
Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
We're on Instagram, and we are sitting down now for a conversation which the minority is spearheading, and 5 members of the minority NDC in Parliament have filed a motion asking the House to probe President Akufo-Addo's use of chartered flights for his foreign travels. The MPs, ranking member on Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee, Honorable Samuel Kujetua Blakwa, Bosa North MP James Agalga, MP for Koliklote Zanato Ajiman Rawlings, Jumako Inyanesiam MP Dr. Atufos, and MP for Ablekuma South Constituency, Alfred Oko Vanderpoel. The MPs in the motion are asking Parliament to ascertain or to find the justification of the President's decision to use chartered flight. And this morning we are also asking the minorities justification for asking for that justification, and Deputy Ranking Member on Foreign Affairs Committee Alfred Oko Vanderpoel joins me at the breakfast table. You can join the conversation across our social media platforms. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can find us on Twitter and Instagram. The hashtag is GTV Breakfast. Honorable Alfred Oko Vanderpoel, welcome.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Great to be here.
Okay, welcome. And we're asking why the interest of the minority, so much interest in the President using a chartered flight for foreign travels.
Thank you for the opportunity to be on your show this morning, and good morning to Ghanaians wherever they are and watching this wonderful breakfast show. First, let me take the opportunity to commend your management and for the improvement that you have done around this area. You need to be commended for that. It's very refreshing, and it's great to be in it this morning. You know, the President is our President, and we have a responsibility as Ghanaians to know the issues that involves his travels. You know that we have a presidential jet. So, as MPs, we have no information. We do not know why and what has necessitated the not using the presidential jet. We also know that it's no secret that the President is leasing high-end aircraft. What is the justification for it? Thirdly, what is it costing us as Ghanaians for the President's use of leased aircraft? Okay? So, if we come out and say, please, let us put a bipartisan committee together of Parliament to look into these issues, it is a good thing for Ghana. We are concerned about the President's trips. We are concerned about his safety. We are concerned about his well-being overall. But give us the facts. And as MPs, as the people's representatives, we deserve to know. Right now, if somebody asks me as a member of parliament, why has the president abandoned the use of Ghana's presidential jet, which, by the way, is being used by other presidents, okay, but our own president is not using it? Why is that? What is the cost involved? Ghanaians must know, the taxpayer must know how much that is costing us. You understand? And then any ramifications around it, it should come to parliament and we should know.
The president's team has had the opportunity to come out and give reasons why the president has not used the jet. Do you find those reasons unsatisfactory? One of the reasons is that it needs to be upgraded, and some of the facilities are not the best as they should be. Do you find those reasons unacceptable?
No, I think that we need to come completely clean on that. You know, Parliament has to know the facts, and the facts, a committee of Parliament must look into it and make it known to the general public that, okay, this and this are what we have found out why the president is not using our presidential jet. This is how much it is costing us for the president to use the alternative, and these are the ramifications around it. We must come completely, holistically clean. Ghanaians have to know the facts around it completely, you know, and that is what we are asking, that a bipartisan committee of parliament be set up to look into these things, to present the facts completely to parliament. Then the people's representatives can say that, oh, okay, this is why this and this are happening. As it is now, it is not. Yes, my ranking member posed the questions in parliament. The Minister for Defense came, gave some answers, but it was left with the second half. The Minister of Finance was supposed to come back. Up to today, he hasn't come back. Understand? So we are asking for a bipartisan committee to be set up so that we can completely and holistically look at this situation with all you know, the issues involved in it. And I think that, you know, look, the president said that he will protect the public purse. This is costing us money. So come out and let us know how you are protecting the public purse in this situation. We know that it's costing so much money, and with the type of aircraft that is being leased, it's not cheap. But we need to know how much it's costing us.
Mr. The response from Parliament at the time that the Honourable Minister was there, Dominic Nitimo, part of that was that even acquiring the new jet is a cost-saving measure, because as things stand now, the costs are higher than if we were to get, the country was to get a new jet for the president. How do you respond to that?
Okay, so we are building on what you just said that he said, you see. So we are saying that before we even talk about getting a new presidential jet, disclose to us the full facts of the current situation. But if you are giving it to us in pieces and bits, and then you are saying that it is national security issues, I mean, it doesn't cut it. Come clean and give us the full disclosure, and then we can make informed decisions. If we are going to acquire a new presidential jet, tell us the situation of today. Tell us what has necessitated us renting high-end aircraft.
Okay, I'll come to the renting of the aircraft a bit. But in the meantime, whilst you wait for these answers to be provided to members of parliament, how do you intend for the president to travel if the team that he's working with, indeed the Minister of Defense, if they found the need for him to get a chartered flight because they have issues with the presidential jet, so he can't go on that? What's your suggestion for how he's supposed to honor his international commitments?
I think That is the very, very basic reason why we are putting this motion forward. We want to, on behalf of Ghanaians, help our president in time of need like this. You understand? But we can only support our president and the presidency when we know the facts. So people should see this, Ghanaians ought to see this, and everybody ought to see this, that it's in the right direction. We are saying that, we are not saying the president should not travel. We are saying that decisions of his safety should not be made. But what we are saying is that as representatives of the people, we ought to know what has necessitated us to lease new aircrafts. What is the state of our presidential aircraft, which anyway is being used by other presidents of other countries. Now, what is the justification of the cost involved? Give these facts, and then we can all stand behind the situation, or otherwise.
Yes, but what I'm asking is, how do you, what's your proposal for how the president should travel in the meantime, whilst you wait for all this, considering the fact that the defense minister has come up to say the Falcon 900 has issues, and so if you don't want him, if the defense ministry is defending why the president should not use Falcon 900, and you're saying he should not go on a chartered flight, how should he travel internationally is what I'm asking.
Well, you see, I don't think we have been very conclusive in our quest for answers. We have not been conclusive. We are asking that a bipartisan committee should be set in Parliament, and then we should look into these issues. Now, you are saying what the defense minister has said, but a committee of Parliament, he can be included, and we can all get into the bottom of the facts, and then make a recommendation to Parliament. You know, I think that's the way to go to serve our country in a way that will be so conclusive and determining and looking at the facts.
The ranking member on Parliament Foreign Affairs Committee, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, did come out to make claims that the country was paying £15,000 an hour for the president's chartered flight. What's the evidence? On what basis are you making that claim?
Okay.
And where is the evidence that the country actually made those payments from the country's coffers?
Okay, I think that on behalf of my ranking member, I can say that we have our sources. But that is why we are saying that, look, let a bipartisan committee look into it. So there are no biases. The facts will come when the committee is put together.
So you have the evidence, but you haven't made it public.
Well,
so for now, we should just take it on the word of the honorable ranking member and the team that is pushing this.
Yeah, because they are credible individuals and credible members of Parliament. But you see, that's why we are not pushing anything. We say, look, let a bipartisan committee look into it. And I think it's good for the nation. It's good for the president. It's good for anybody who works for the president. And it's good for Ghanaians. That let a bipartisan, we are not saying the minority, let a bipartisan committee look into it, because it's a serious issue. The president's safety is at stake. We shouldn't be debating about the president issue, but let us come clean on issues affecting that. Then as a nation, we can all move forward in the right direction.
So you're saying that you do not have details of the condition of the president's jet, which has necessitated the use of chartered flights by the president to travel. Is that what you're saying?
As we said today, I know what the Minister for Defense presented to us. But I'm saying that let us have a bipartisan committee. That is why we have Parliament. Parliament works through committees, and those committees make and do effective work. If we have a bipartisan committee to investigate all these issues, the facts will come up. And then, you know, by the facts, we can make informed decisions. And then we can close the chapter on these issues when we have dealt with facts. Right now, the facts are hanging. You know, one minister of defense came to tell us something. Okay, we've heard it. The other minister of finance was supposed to come back. He hasn't come back yet.
Okay, so there are some who have argued that the benefits of the president's travels may far outweigh the costs involved in ferrying him and his team internationally to engage other members of the global community on issues. For example, his trips to Germany, which the minority came out to say the country paid 3.4 million on his travel, brought Ghana some COVID-19 vaccines, which are in short supply, and all countries are scrambling to get that. Have you considered the benefits against the costs?
You see, I don't think that any of us have said that the president should not travel. No. We have elected the president. He has a responsibility both locally and internationally. So I don't think that we have questioned why is the president traveling. We are questioning the circumstances under which those travels are being made. And we believe that there is a far better cost-saving avenues. And we are asking that we need to look into these things. You know, the fact that we have a president who must travel does not mean that, therefore, the president has told us that he will protect the public purse. And some of us are of the opinion that in these circumstances, we are not protecting the public purse. We have not made any conclusive arguments on that, but we are saying that a bipartisan committee should look into it and then present the facts as it is to us as members of Parliament or to Parliament, and then we can make informed decisions.
There are some who have also brought an argument that the minority gets into these matters because it's an attempt for the public to see them in a certain way. Are you trying to push a minority agenda that other people?
There are questions that ought to be answered. How much is it costing us as a nation for the president to use the alternate route? Okay, we don't know. We have to know as a nation. The president and his team and staff all Ghanaians that information. You understand? So we ought to know. And then what other issues surrounding this travels must we be concerned about? So when we have a committee, the committee who can look into all these things.
You're calling for a probe into the acquisition of a new jet, or the reasons why the current jet is not being used by the president, well, and a justification for the monies being spent on chartered flights.
Yeah, I don't think we've said anything about the acquisition of a new jet.
Okay.
Because nothing has been presented to us in Parliament in that light. We've heard it on air, but nothing until something is put on the table in Parliament, then we can talk about it. But now we know the issues are that the presidential jet is not being used. Secondly, it is causing our nation for the lease of an alternate aircraft. So what are the justification for that? So inform us, let us all know as Ghanaians, and then we can all make informed decisions.
Okay,
I think it's good for the president, it's good for our nation.
Here are a few comments that we received from you, and let me just reiterate that opinions expressed by people on this table on any GBC platform represent their opinions and not that of the GBC. I need to say that very clearly. Please ask Okovandapo, did former President Mahama travel by chartered flight? Why did he do so? They should spare us the trouble and tell us how to solve the youth unemployment. They're questioning why he has traveled. What are the cost-saving alternatives? He must tell us. As Member of Parliament and one who has been in government, I'm sure he knows there are security implications that will not be made public. So that's one concern. Okay, I can't state this one. You need to be temperate with your language before we can read it on air. So here's the one that I just read to you before, saying that the security implications, and if you're asking that the president does not charter a flight whilst there are issues with the presidential jet, then we could be exposing our first gentleman of the land to anything as he travels, because he can't surely fly commercial. Is that what you're asking?
No, we are not asking that the president should fly commercial.
Business class or first class?
No, we haven't said that. All we are asking is that and I want to reiterate and repeat it again. We have a presidential jet, and if circumstances determine that the current presidential jet should not be used, we ought to be known. It ought to be made known to us completely and clearly.
I want you to talk about what the texter asked about, whether former President Mahama used chartered flights whilst he was in power.
I'm sure President Mahama, on the circumstance, may have used a charter flight. That is not the issue. The issue at stake here now is that it has become the thing of today, that anytime our president is traveling, he has abandoned our presidential jet. That has become the order of the day. So if that has become the order of the day, then make it clear and let us know why that has become the order of the day. On the issue of security, look, Parliament is a place where if they think, government thinks that there are issues that cannot be made public, at least they can still come and confide in us. There are many issues. I've attended several high-level meetings where we've been told that this is matter that we should hold together until, So, I mean, we can do that. Government must have confidence in us that, look, this matter is in the president's own interest, is in the interest of government. Okay. So that we can close the door on, the agitations. And then somebody mentioned about youth employment. I go back to the point where the president says that he will protect the public purse. If the facts should come out, and we should know how much it is costing us to lease those aircraft, when we don't have textbooks in our classrooms, when we don't have hospital beds, when we can't fix our roads, you see, and it's costing us on such travels so much huge sums of money, then we can know why some of us are saying that let's look into these things. Okay. But it's not about saying that the president should not travel. But look at our economy. Okay,
let me bring in another concern that someone is raising here. Sometimes we have to also know the right thing about certain issues. The president's appointees have come out to say that the presidential jet is okay for short distances. So the president uses the jet for such trips. That is why other heads of state in the sub-region also use it. The issue is the use of charter flights for long distances. The impression should not be created that the president does not use the jet at all. Let's know our facts right when discussing certain issues. You didn't tell us your name or where you were texting us from, but thanks for sending that through to us. Here's another one. I believe he is aware.
If I could help you there or assist, you know that if a bipartisan committee is set up, these facts will come out. We won't be hearing it from somebody sending us a text message
whose identity we cannot verify.
Yes.
So
you see, so I'm saying that this will help Ghana, it will help the government, it will clear the air on so many things. So it's good for Ghana that we set up this committee to look into this matter.
More of your messages coming in. I think he's aware that the Minister of Defense has come out to state, among other things, why the president is traveling by charter flights. The presidential jet cannot make long-haul flights. Someone says, I want to know how public purse can be protected. Can we call on the president on Meet the Press for him to educate us on that? Nee from Accra, you sent us that message. I don't know about that. Amadeus, I think is the name of the guy who was sending. I said he hadn't said his name, so he's telling us. It's a point. What do you want to achieve in all this? What's the end goal here?
The end goal is that information must be made public. Why certain decisions are made by government, the people must know. The people's representatives must know. That's all we are asking. We are asking for information so that we can also make informed decisions. But if we are not disclosing why we make certain decisions, in fact, there is no full disclosure about why we are not using our presidential jet. Okay.
And you're saying that the Ministry of Defense's responses is not enough. That's what you're saying?
No. When we acquire the presidential jet, we knew that it could take us and fly us wherever we want to go. We looked at all that before we approve the purchase of that. So if it has come at a point where it cannot make long distances, what are we doing about it? Is the only alternative is that we should go and rent or lease high-end aircraft? If that is it, let us know.
But that's what I've asked you. What alternatives do you think there could be? If you think this is not a cost-saving measure, then what alternatives are you suggesting?
Well, at this point, we don't have any suggestions to make because we don't have the full facts. But when we have the full facts, then we can make informed decisions and come up with some. That's why we are asking for the committee to be set up, a bipartisan committee. When the committee looks at it, and which is the work of Parliament, then the committee will come up. You know, right now we are only advocating for the setting up of a bipartisan committee. The committee will go to work when it is set up, and then it will come out with. You know, I don't want to preempt the committee's work. I might not even be a member of the committee. You never know. So I cannot preempt it. But we are only asking that let's set up a bipartisan committee to look at this. And look, we shouldn't look at it like this is minority versus majority or NDC versus NPP. No, this is Ghana. You understand? This is Ghana in the interest of our country, the travels of our president, the safety, the cost involved in all that. We need to know and all make informed decisions.
Thank you, Mr. Van der Poel, for answering some of these questions. It's a running debate, a developing story, and yes, I'm sure that we'll have further cause in the future to engage you and the members filing this motion again to give us further details as the case progresses. A few of your messages come in. I keep saying you need to mind the language that you send these messages in so that we can read it. We just want to foster discussions on the issues that we discuss here, not to create tensions if we can avoid it. So the Honorable Alfred Van der Poel, MP for Abikuma South constituency, thank you, sir, for
thank you. And
being
on behalf of the members of Parliament and on behalf of the minority, we want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. And once again, I want to commend you for the environment.
Honorable, can I put you on the spot? You see, you're saying that this the jet matter has not been presented to Parliament, so there's no paper before Parliament now for you to use as a basis to make suggestions even. But there is one paper that's before Parliament that conversations have been very, very active on across social media platforms, and it has to do with the one we've come to call the anti-LGBTQI plus bill. Yes. I wonder what your thoughts would be on that. This morning, or I think yesterday, the Archbishop of Canterbury has commented on the bill which is before your house, and also Bishop Sarah has come out to say, both are saying it's a thorny issue and Ghana should not be in how to criminalize LGBT activities. What are your thoughts on these developments?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts on this issue. You know, growing up in Ghana, I knew since those days, and very soon I'll be 66 in about a week. But growing up at that young age, I knew in my community, Mamplobi, Koligono, and others, Accra, Jamestown, Adempo, and all those places, that we had people who were practicing man, woman, LGBT. People were practicing it. But was it any of my business? No. It was what they did in their own bedrooms. Look at the culture of us as Ghanaians. Our culture is that man marries a woman. Our culture is that. Our tradition believes by our chiefs and our elders support that. That you can never go to your elders and say, oh, I'm going to marry I'm going to marry a man. Your tradition will not accept that. It's never been accepted. Nobody has ever. And then on religious grounds, the word of God tells us that a man shall leave his home, leave his father and mother, and go out there and marry a woman. And they will continue their family. So that on these three levels, that is what we have always lived with. But I'm also saying that I've always known that there are people who practice other sexual behavior outside these three values that I've mentioned. And it has never been a problem with us. Now, if we are being called upon today to now sort of give it a legal backing, I think that is where we have a problem with. To give it a legal backing. That one, it will be difficult. We cannot do that as a country. I know in other jurisdictions, they are making it a human right issue. It has never come to us as such that it's a human right issue. We have never bought into that. We have never accepted that. And until, no, for us, it's an issue of sexuality, which we know that's only ordained for man and woman.
So are you for criminalizing gays, homosexual, lesbian and transgender relationships, or are you against? And the speaker has said that that vote will be public.
Yes.
Which will you be voting for the bill to promote the sexual rights as it is, or would you be voting against the bill? And I wonder if you would abstain as well, because
no,
I don't know if that's an option.
I would not abstain. I will vote against anything to make it legal that we should bless a marriage between man and woman or woman. No. We want it to stay the way we have always had it. If people want to go and practice that, that is their business. But we will not legalize it. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable, for sharing your thoughts on this matter as well. Alfred Vanderpoy is MP for Ablekuma South constituency. He was here initially to talk about the minorities' call for the House to probe the President's use of chartered flights for his foreign travels. He stated their justifications for it. He's also added his voice to the LGBTQ debate. He's saying he's going to vote not to legalize same-sex relationships, and so we'll see how that development also goes. GTV Breakfast, we'll be right back with more. Please stay with us.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Blowing, can you say same? Can you say it is the same police service that we are used to? Is it proactiveness on the part of the police in recent times, or is it the dynamism of a new IGP? The police can sustain this proactiveness and swift response to issues, or can they not? These are questions we are asking, and we are privileged to have a consultant who will help us understand some of these issues. Mr. Richard Kumado is joining us via Zoom so that we look into this matter. He is a security and fraud consultant, and he's joining us via Zoom right now for that conversation. Richard Kumado, good morning and welcome.
Thank you, Prema.
Great. We are asking the question of the freshness and the proactiveness that some have called it from the Ghana Police Service that we are seeing in recent times. Do you feel a wind of change blowing yourself from what you say to us as an analyst?
Definitely, Dampari has gotten something new. You saw leadership from him. He's all over the place, making sure that he's leading by example. And I think that is rejuvenating the base for him. And kudos to Dampari for what he has done so far.
Do you think it's working? Do you think it's going to help to curb crime in the long term, this visibility of the police, even across social media platforms?
Definitely. You remember his predecessor was sacked as a result of his inability to deal with the issue of crime. Dampari has been with the service for many years now. He knows the issues involved. So what I said when he was appointed is that form an operational team that is proactive and getting the strategic minds like his colleagues, the Kofi Boachis, the Sabris, and all those big boys. And I could see that the team he has put together is working. I would hope that they will sustain the momentum. But so far, so good.
Exactly what I was going to ask next. Is it sustainable? Because this is like a fresh breath of air that they've taken in just when a new IGP has come into office. So can they sustain it for the long haul?
My few checks within the police service, long ago, people were calling for Dampari. He has this human touch. His interpersonal skill is great. He loves the welfare of the police. And he really doing things rightly. I think when they continue in this regard, being responsive and being at the right places at the right time and developing the capacity to deal with the issues at the highest level, it will just create the space for them, and the flexibility to sustain the momentum will be great. And I can only wish them well that we are looking on and we are cheering them on.
One of the key things that people have raised concerns about is the one to do with interference, especially by persons in positions of power when others are arrested or picked up for doing something wrong. Do you see this new IGP with his men and women doing any different to sort of break away from the shackles of persons in positions of influence?
Definitely, some of those differences will come, and I always refer to what special prosecutor said, that when the pressure becomes unbearable, he will hand over the position to government. And I think government will have to be aware that once you keep on putting pressure, then you are deforming the service and you are taking away the shine from some other people. And invariably, it affects all of us as a people. And I think Dampari must stand his ground. He's a big boy. He owns a doctorate degree, which did not come easy. And he can be the president of this country. He's a learned person, and I think he needs to develop that boldness, which he has done so far, to be able to address the issues as they come. And we also pray that the politicians will take their long hands off and allow the system to work.
You've just made a very interesting comment that he can be president of the country. So apart from Dampari will catch you, you are introducing a new Dampari for president. We are not even in election year yet. But are you then alluding to the fact that he's proved his critics wrong? Because there are those who doubted that he would have room to operate. We're speaking to Richard Komado, who is a security analyst, and we are talking to him about the dynamism that appears to be trending from the quarters of the Ghana Police Service. We are seeing the men in black being more responsive to issues, a lot more arrests being done, a lot more communication with the public on activities of the Ghana Police Service, and we are asking the question, how can it be sustained, and is it even possible to sustain it? And we are talking to the analyst who is explaining his opinions, or he's stating his opinions on that matter. He's told us that indeed there is a wind of change blowing. He's told us that the new IGP has brought a certain level of freshness to the force. He's telling us that he's doing well, and he even made the allusion that he could run for president. We are asking you what you think about the responsiveness of the police in recent times, and you can share those opinions with us on our social media platforms and our WhatsApp line. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we are on YouTube. You can also join us on WhatsApp. The number is 05555611034, and we will read some of your comments and we will get on. Here's one here. Good morning, GTV. Good morning to you as well. We are loving the MP's expression on this issue. I presume you are speaking about Honorable Oko van der Poy. Yes. We've read that for you as well. What do you think about the responsiveness of the police in recent times? Send your message across to us. We're trying to re-establish contact with our resource person, who is Richard Komado, a security and fraud consultant. We've been talking to him via Zoom, so technology has given us a few hitches there, but we are trying to re-establish contact with him, and when we do, we may revisit this topic again at another time. So to save time, we'll just leave it here for now. But what do you think? Let us know. We'll post a question on our Facebook and social media stream, so you can tell us whether you think the police are doing a great job and what you think about their responsiveness in recent times. So we've announced the cheesy winners, but I hear some of you want us to do it again. So yesterday we asked a question about what the Ghana Enterprise Agency used to be called before, and the answer we're expecting is the NBSSI. Some of you sent them to us, many of you actually, but we picked the fastest fingers first. And I think we should also insist that if you've won the cheesy pizza before, you can't win it again for the next 2 months. Okay, at least let somebody also enjoy the pizza. So Lansado, Richard J. Obeng, and William Ado were winners for yesterday. So you get in touch with the team and pick up your vouchers and get some delicious pizza from Cheesy. Breakfast is live on GTV. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back to have another discussion. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
That's staying on. It's Throwback Thursday, so all our music is just taking you back to the days when you used to jam to those songs. We hope you're enjoying them. And we are having another sit down with an NGO that is dedicated to caring for widows, orphans and the vulnerable in society. And we know that it's everybody's responsibility, but once in a while you come across organizations that are dedicated. They've dedicated their time and resources to making sure that these persons are taken care of. And one such NGO is the one that we'll be speaking to now. They are called Rosa Care Foundation, and they take care of widows and orphans for those of them inhabited at Nkonya. Those who live around the Nkonya area in the Oti region, you may know Rosa Care Foundation, an NGO that helps widows and orphans. So at the table for my immediate left, Rose Amening. She is the founder of Rosa Care Foundation, and next to her, Gifty Nave, Program Officer, Rosa Care Foundation. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Rose, you set up this foundation to help widows. Why?
Yes, thank you, Thelma. Yes, my name is Rose Amening, so I just use my name for the foundation, and that's how come the name is Rosa Care Foundation. I grew up there at Nkonya Tepo in the Oti region, because that's where my mom hails from. So, and then looking at the hardship I went through when I was a kid, one time, as little as I was, I said to myself, when I grow up, I would set up an NGO. I mean, the name NGO did not come by then, but then I said I'll come and I'll be sharing food and other stuff for them. And yeah, I kept that faith and dream, and I didn't want to forgo that dream. So when I came to Accra, I started in 2017. I was buying a bag of rice, that's the 25 kg. Then I'll send it over and then share it to some of them. I actually started with 15 videos, and then gradually I kept growing, so we registered it in 2019, and officially we kickstart the program.
What was the need that you identified? So you saw that persons who were widows and orphans were not getting the care that they needed.
Exactly.
Is that why you started this?
Yeah,
and how has it grown over the years? From one 25 kilogram bag of rice, I presume now you have to buy much more.
Yes, yeah, yes. So I spoke with a few people, Gifty for instance, and then Mr. Patrick Nikoi. So they all bought into the idea, and we were contributing small. So then we started by increasing from 1 bag to 2, 3, and now we spoke to 1 or 2 people who are also being helpful. And now I can say we go with like 5 bags of rice plus used clothing and other stuff.
Okay, I'll bring you in here now, Gifty. What's the need like for the persons that you support? What are the things that they need help with the most? You're helping with food and clothes. What state are they in?
I wouldn't want to use the word dejected, but you can see that they are in a very bad state in terms of they have no money. For the orphans, some of them don't even go to school. For the widows, you would realize we are the only help. Sometimes they would only depend on us. They have shelter, yes, but even with that one, it's so deplorable. The kind of when we are here, we always hear them. They're always calling us that we should come. When are we coming next? They're always asking for money. They have no jobs. It's very bad.
Where are they housed?
Oh, they have their own private places. Yes, we don't house them. No, but we are trying to set up something. We are constructing something at Tepo currently. And we are trying. It's still under construction, but it hasn't really gone that far because of lack of funds. But
so you don't have the capacity, and that's why you are asking for help. What kind of help do you need?
Rose? So yes, we need people to support us financially, materially, and in any form that they can support us. We'll be very grateful.
Where can they send the support? How can they reach you to offer help?
Okay, currently we don't have an office in Accra, but then we operate from my residence, live at Adenta, Ridge Junction. But I can put a number across.
Go ahead.
The number is 0241 831629. And I'll mention again 0241 831629. The name is Rose Boama.
Okay, Rose Boama, and that's your number.
Yes.
Gifty, the children in particular, are they also living elsewhere? They are not also resident at one place, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you say you are taking care of orphans, but these orphans are living with other people. Why don't those other people look after them? Why are they not in school?
Unfortunately, like I said, the level of poverty there is quite high. It's quite high. It's so bad. Some people don't even get. Just recently, we did an interview with a lady, one of the widows there. She doesn't have a job. She says she actually begs.
Is there a plan to give them some kind of skill for those who can work?
Yes.
Even for those orphans, I don't know what the age range is.
For the age range, they span from babies to as teenagers.
Yeah.
Some of them are even pregnant as we speak, because there's no care. There's really no one to mold them. There's nothing of the sort. They are just left on their own, unfortunately. And currently, I'm even trying to add the people of Tei
if you do remember the Alavanyo issue, the conflict some time back, it's left a lot of children orphaned. So because of that, we are even trying to extend our reach to that region, that area too, and that town. It's quite bad. It's quite sad when you go and see them in that state.
Are there any good stories to share at all from all the support that you've given them? Can you share some? Because it can't all be grim.
Yes. Yeah, the good stories. Recently we went there in August, and then we realized that the aged ones, most of them are weak and sick. They don't even have the money to go to clinic, visit the hospital. So we went there to do the NHIS for them, and you can't believe it. They were so
for those who
happy.
want to support, what can they send? So you put your number out there, 0241 6831629. But what can they offer to support your drive? And your final comments before we leave.
They can send us money. If they have items, materials that they can send, they can, call the number. We will meet them wherever they are and pick them up.
Okay, thank you so much for what you're doing for the orphans and widows and the vulnerable in general, and we wish you well. Now that you've made the appeal, we hope that you'll get some help to help you with the foundation. Rosa Care Foundation, based at Nkonya in the Oti region, is asking for help to support its widows, orphans and other vulnerable people in the society. Their number is 024-183-1629. Madame Rose Amening is the founder, Rosa Care Foundation. Thank you so much. And Gifty Nave, Program Officer, Rosa Care Foundation. Thank you, ladies, for being on the table. We'll be back for a conversation with the man who uses his fists to make a living, and Val will take over on the Yellow Couch, sponsored by Airtel Tigo. We'll be back.
This is the breakfast. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the breakfast show.
Ile makule masaile kule salanya jealousy ile makule nasaya lo kule salama jealousy ile salama kule masa kule alaya jealousy. La 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 gazy future la 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 gazy future la 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 gazy future la 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 la
baba mi da. O baba o bi baba o te baba. Telu nilu kakanyu baba mi da. And it was shame. Bakuwa.
I can't see what you did to be the loser. Don't you know the book of could be the winner? Cause every day we don't pray to Jehovah. La 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 against the future. La 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 against the future. La 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 against the future. La 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 la. We live to see today to see another day. In what beat the what they watch, I lay what day. Rancis what day. Who say man no day? No if you are betty, get your boy me my pay. Mango fancy so, chem when I fair. Me must no Russia can I pay. People conta for basic getting shown of fear.
Welcome to the yellow side of the breakfast table. And so our guest is none other, and he's no stranger to the screens. Bukom Banku is joining us today on and sometime on the yellow couch. I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that I'll not laugh too much, and at the end of the day we'll be able to know Bukom Banku, the guy who's not on the streets and he's not on the screens, but Bukom Banku, the man. This segment is by kindness of Airtel Tigo, so we are going to take a quick detour to find out what Airtel Tigo has in store for well-meaning Ghanaians. When we come back, you get to meet Bukom Banku, aka Ghana's superstar, self-acclaimed. So here's a break.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Bukom Banku, aka Ghana superstar, on the yellow couch. Welcome to the yellow couch.
Thank you, my beautiful girl.
The yellow couch, I got a layer much.
Me, I'm Banku fresh. Everybody know I'm fresh. Or when I come your face, I'm dressing well for the nation.
No piercing, say bien
see, I'm wearing 3, but this is an example for Ghana. I will wear 3.
The matter chop hot. Bukom.
Yes, ma.
Recently, just this week, you released the video. You are appealing to the IGP to do something, but the video cut towards the end. You were mentioning a docket. This is an opportunity to tell the IGP. So, can we have you say everything you said to the IGP and perhaps more?
The time of the year that they catch Shatawale, I say, hey, Banku, they catch Shatawale, the king of superstar in Ghana. Look as locality superstar. But I'm all man guide for the country. That's what I did and say. Down Paris, oh, down Paris. Down Paris, oh, down Paris. Huh? Down Paris. He be my friend, but this time I fear him. Down Paris. If you say you are mental, you have a mental pass. If you say you are crazy, you have a crazy pass. Down Paris. It just Shatawale, look at me. Down Paris, just Shatawale in the country. Look at me. I said, Down Paris, if you had my home docket, I'd beg you. Just look for me. I'm changing my life. Mr. No Nonsense, Down Paris. Mr. No Nonsense.
So that's Banku's little appeal to the IGP. He says that if you find a docket, it's an old docket, don't revive anything. So Banku, who is the man Brahma Kamoko?
The man Brahma Kamoko, everybody knows that he do so many things in Ghana. He's a good person for the nation, musician in the film matter. At the same time, he do politics. What is Brahma Kamoko? The man himself in the country.
Okay, so you're a politician, boxer first, politician, fashionista, and musician.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were to shelve one of these, throw one away, which one would you pick?
Oh, bossing in my talent, bossing make me somebody, or bossing in my choice.
Okay, Brahma Kamoko, are you a retired boxer? are you still boxing? What's it like for you in boxing? What's happening with boxing?
I'm not retired. I'm not retired boxing, but you know the coronavirus is killing everything in the nation. So everything is coming down. Coronavirus is catching everywhere, killing everywhere. So if somebody want to do fight in the nation, he swear. What they do, the local fight. Now, but me myself, I'm a champion in Ghana. I can't go and fight that locality fight in Ghana. But I'm the title holder from London. You understand me? So I relax more. This time I want to come about small and then shaking the country because boxing is sleeping.
The last fight was with Bashir.
But still.
So are you going to come back again? Are you going to ask for a rematch?
Oh, that me and Basi fight there. I lose the fight totality. It won't be totality. You understand my beating. You understand? Like I'll go home. I'm going to school back home to go and learn small. I'll fight the locality 3 fight. I don't think about Basti return fight. Oh, I'm ready for Basti now. Okay.
We care about boxing. When it comes to the boxing sector, industry here in Ghana, you've been in for a long time. You know a lot of boxers.
Live from GBC Studio 1. This is the breakfast.
Thank you for London to come. Almost 2 years. I don't fight again. Oh, they drop me in the Africa ratings and the world ratings. They come 40. Okay. 40,000. Right now I'm down. So when I fight 3 fights, I'll come up small. And I'm looking for big 30 for myself.
I hope that happens soon enough. Now let's talk about music. Who is your favorite musician apart from yourself?
First of all, I believe Skillface. But you know Shatawale, he's conquer everywhere. He's the number one musician. They like it.
So right now, Shatawale, which of Shatawale song is your favorite song?
Kolegono Minje, KG Minje, Kolegono Minje. The way he mentioned their area, it make me beauty because me I love my area.
Okay.
If you like to, God will bless you. When you have money, chop with your area.
And that's how God will bless you.
Yes. Okay. The people who make you somebody, when you have money, you eat it to the other people.
Okay.
Yes.
How many songs do you have to your credit? Not the one that you featured on other albums, but just you. How many songs?
I don't feature anybody. Me, my music, I do Gamashi music.
Me manage Gamashi music.
Ghana, me not try radio. It's my own music in my character for my area. But you know this time they make some music. The politics are playing, NDC are playing, NPPL. Otrinche, I will not Trinche. Why you hear the name before?
Otrinche.
Imbadu Okomi, Otrinche.
The Walla, Otrinche chorus or how?
Otrinche, I will not Trinche. Indian Otrinche, Otoko below Trinche. I will not Trinche. When be no Trinche, Otoko below Trinche, Otrinche. Imbadu Okomi, Otrinche. Alone Badu Okina. Imba for Shika. Alone Yebo Yomo.
Otrinche.
O mami atale. Alone mami fufu. Ni ko na fresh air. Ni dirty epo wonye. Siko pam. Oh pam. Na siko pam. Papa, na mbie no akolo abongo police mbie no akolo police ntawobu ona bodofu mbie no edofu otwinche bodofu mbie no odofu otwinche. This is a music everybody like in Gamashi.
Boko Banko, yes. Why are your songs so controversial?
Controversial like where? You ask me good question. You know, me my they boom me there. We are our mentality. Well, if you are the era they boom me here, don't see me my dressing. I'm mental because everybody are mental. They boom me in mental. I want my mental. When your father and your mother are the thief, when you boom you are a thief. You understand me? That area we are all bomb class. Nobody should respect somebody. Nobody. They don't mean that I'm a superstar for that. They are king or they are Romo or they are you. We all no respect ourselves. Well, blessing will come that area. We don't crack ourselves. The music that they do well. Beni wa warrior Ghana, I can feel it.
You feel harm,
yes, but it no be Ghana. It be my locality area.
Gamashi, make music of Gamashi. Boko Marco, when your glasses say you need or viewers are calling.
No problem. Okay.
No, he may say no Shebiane. Is it part of your new brand?
Oh, it's not a new brand. It's my character from the beginning. At the breathing myself, it's my character. Because I can just breathe themselves. Or for real, person breathe themselves before. Well, nobody should tell me that they can stop the breathing. Breathing be my talent. They call me Banku Fresh. This one be my talent. Twani, it be my talent. Everybody ain't is popular. Shatawale is a dance king. I'm a king of boss in Ghana.
Ask
me question.
Well, Bugumbanku, you know that you have a lot of people who look up to you as a role model. Most probably people in the Gamashi area. Well, what would you say to them? Come and bomb us and I go, oh, me moving down in my checking house. If you down my polish feel, you know what I can.
Nobody can change somebody. If you want to change, you change for yourself. Nobody should spare somebody. If you want to spoil, it's for yourself. Because when I was a smoker, I don't want you to smoke. What's how you are? I'm a thief. I don't want you to thief. If you thief, you make yourself thief. You understand? If it's somebody worth money or you breathe yourself to make a super, and so you want to do that thing to make a super, you go to the shameless or ask yourself advice before you enter the room. You understand?
Okay. Bugumbanku, so who is the Brahma Kamoko that we don't know? We know the musician, we know the boxer, we know the controversial guy, we know the fashionista. Behind the scenes, when you're not on camera, now what you Bugumbanku?
The 4 things that they do to do me Bugumbanku. If you are not doing, they don't call me Bugumbanku. Because, let me tell you, you journalist people in the radio station make somebody super. Well, if you don't call me to see me on the tele on the radio, I don't make super. Well, what they do me superstar is like you. You do me superstar. You know me myself. Today you come on the television, people are saw me today. My name also coming up.
Well, apart from these 4 things, that's who you are.
What are the people go hear me again? My name was sleeping. Okay. You understand me?
Okay.
So who do me Bukombanku? What they are saying?
Many favor. What made you Bukombanku is what you are. So behind the scenes, everything is still Bukombanku straight up. Bukombanku, well, is it part of your brand as a musician? Nike Uchalala Wadomo Bele Dobe Ojo, okay, King Jerry.
Sometimes you understand what they do that is. That video, I think say when the people see my video in Ghana, they laughing. So I they make some video for the Facebook and people are seeing me and my name is no die. Well, that video I they do for social media, it guiding my name small.
Yeah, so it's always you have to be relevant.
My name small when the boss is not there. You understand
me? I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Now let's come to you as a politician. You are self-acclaimed. You claim that you're a politician.
Oh, I'm a politician. When you saw me on the television and they support NDC, and they tell you the truth. Everybody know in Ghana that John Mama is my father. They do politics. I'm supporting NDC. Well, you too, you know. Don't ask me. You know. I'm doing politics already.
Well,
I'm a politician.
The politics you do.
I take my head inside. Well, I can't remove it again.
Politics, no fear. Do you think that you associating yourself with politicians or a particular political party, it hurts your brand as a musician and as a boxer?
Okay. If you are a popular man, there is no way you do politics.
Come again.
I said, if you are a popular man, everybody know you in the nation, don't do politics. Because when you do that thing, it go sometimes it go spoil your name, it go spoil your brand. They don't call you adverts, they don't call you something. People are hating you, but you understand the NDC people, you love me. MPP people are hating me. It's not good. If you are a woman, be there for them. Let everybody they love you. You understand? But when other people they love you, other people hate you. It's no fun, madam.
Well, it has hurt your brand. You associating yourself with
sometimes it disturbs me for my advert. That's what I tell you that I heading the thing already. On my head, is because
okay. Ona gashi no me ofio host program ko on a private TV station. No backba.
GH1.
No backba.
It's my station.
A lot of people sent out questions like is it because of politics? Is it your personal choice? What happened?
Good question. The voice of people, the voice of God. If God be with us, who can be against us? You are but at the chapter 31. GH1, it be my station. I work with them. Nana mind my mother, everybody know. I'm working with them. I don't know anything. And somebody they call me, say you see on the net day, GH1 they sack me. I don't ask anybody question. I don't know what I they do. They sack me. You can ask Nanama. This nation can ask Nanama Adamwa. I'm not begging him because I don't know my fault to begging Nanama. When I know my fault and I do the fault, I'll beg in Nanama because it's my mother. But I don't know what I they do. Nanama they sack me in GH1. So I'm not begging Nanama. When the Jesus Christ is coming to the world to begging me, I'm not begging Nanama. When I know my fault, I'll beg in Nanama because it's my mother. But today I'm not begging. I'm not talk with them because they disgrace me for the nation. You understand my talking? Don't hate him. Everybody is in life. Moko yani ko fele nu go ba shieke moko ni ko fele nu go e ba fe bueku.
Bono lo ke no fi anajo.
Yes, I'm a peace. I'm a peace.
Okay, so a little bird whispered to me that you've bought a car recently with your own money and you want to talk about it.
Yeah. And that video you don't see to ask me that question is good. You know our area, I don't know. That area, when I was sitting down to pick in that area, I don't know. I don't know that area again. If you money I think so. Okay, when the God remove the Satan in the top, he come and sleep in Odo. No. Gamashi. I don't know the people they're working there. We are mental. The time I the fight with Haiti powers, they gave me Range Rover, just the people's. I was driving the road over on the road. Go here, bank way, no more. Give them money, no more. You know, if you get money, they call you no more. And when they shock me, when me so my head make big. What the money I they give my wife, I they explain. When I go home, when I'm watching the Zingle, and I they cry. You understand? When you have money, they will give you a bigality respect in that area. But when the money is finished, you see that woman without no man is like a river without a source and abundance of water. The foolish one must be taste. My area people, my car, I have car 7. You know, sometimes I don't go to school before I'm illiterate, but I don't want my children to make illiterate. I mean, my children, and they watch them very well. Everybody go to school.
How many children do you have?
11. One died. 10 is alive. Me and they watch some food and water. Nobody in this nation. I'm a man. Me and they watch my children. They go to school. I want to be the president or IGP.
The IGP, man.
IGP. I want my children make president or IGP. He make like Dampari. Dampari. The man is safe.
The children, I think by one woman.
Not one woman. Me, I have 5 wives. But I divorced 3. Only 2 are they carry now. I divorced 3.
Okay, so you have 2. You actually came to the studios with one.
Yeah, always he is seeing Facebook.
Okay, so that's Martha. So Martha is here, guys. Bukom Banku. One of his wives is in studio. But you were telling me.
It's not my wife. Oh. It's my girlfriend. My wife is Gladys. We dey home. Martha is not my wife. Don't call her my wife. Call her Banku girlfriend.
Well, Banku, does your wife know that you are here with your girlfriend?
He know.
And how is she taking it?
You know, I solved that problem. When the BP they come out, I put money to the BP. Well, the BP don't wake up. I dey control them with normality. I dey control them.
You're telling us about your car, your new car. And you started by saying the people in your neighborhood. But tell us why this new car is such a feat and you're excited.
Good talking. I tell you already that I have car 9. I'm selling 3. 4 is spoil. Well, I don't have car. They started to insulting me for that area. The time Mama lose the election, they beating me rough in Gamashi because they have power. I don't want to throw my hand. Well, small boys are slapping me. They insulting me. Well, this car they buy it for my home safe, for my own sweat money car. Me I global to advert now. I put the money there. Yes. Somebody borrow me 3,000. Stop your call. He did for my area. And that money is not used for the car. Well, I'm going to take 30 million. I'll pay them. You know me. Me, if you have one, I chop for the area. Well, if you don't have people, they give me. They know me. Yes. Well, I they give one warning. When the car is passed, and somebody tell me that it be politician car, I will curse you. Because when I'm driving the car, they mention somebody's name.
That's it. It's a Toyota, no? It's in a video. It's right there. It's on the screen too. So that's the car.
Yes. This car, I brand new from my own pocket. Me and Robert money. This car, brand new buyer. I'm going to register. I beg the police in Ghana that when you see me on the road, there is no number. I beg nation. I will register. I will register.
Then that's why you were appealing to the IGP.
Yes.
Exactly.
IGP, IGP Dampari, there is my friend the time he was the regional commander. That time when they fight in Gamashi, he come and call me. Me and they lead down to search the people are doing rough in Gamashi. Well, you know me. But this time the way you boom blow the shutter, everybody change you. I can't sleep, Dampari. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. You know the way they catch shutter. The people say me, I'm also tell say I they die, they no catch me. Everybody is in super. Me, I no come out to say I'm done. So Dampari, if you have my docket, it's over there. It be old docket. Let's do brand new things to catch me. I can't sleep. Dampari, me pouch or Dampari. Me na me catch anyone.
Okay. You've spoken about this car and why you got the car. I'm also going to ask you about investments. How are you going about your investments? Or invest? Hello, is there something?
Good. Another good question. You know this word. If you want the Bible, and Jesus said, "Give us never lack." And Jesus is saying, "It's no manpower." Jesus say, "Give us never lack." Well, if you have money to give to the people, he will return back for you. But when you return back, when you spend 30,000, he go return 60. But you will not get belief to share your money for the people who don't have money. You know, I get that belief. Well, if I share money today, when I go to somebody's face, he go give me. But my money dey bank small. If your money no bank, I dey work Ghana BMT. You understand?
I get it. Now let's talk about your fashion sense. You have a unique fashion sense.
I don't have a unique one. Me, I dey choose my own faction.
Okay. Yes.
But I don't have faction. Me, I dey do for my own faction. Okay. Me, if you come the fresh air, the old Ghana.
Hey, what are your thoughts on Shatawale medical, the whole rousing with the IGP recently? What are your general thoughts about it?
Another good question. You know, we are all human beings. We are all there for the nation. You know the nation. We are doctors. We are police. We are superstars. We are captain, mason. Everybody in the future. The way my brother Shatawale go, it's not fair because people love you in Ghana. You have fans in Ghana. If you say they shoot you, maybe if somebody think about that, he can die. Somebody also can go coma. You understand? But the jail Shatawale go is shimmy. The way Shatta go is too fine, but the jail he go on shimmy. I think say IGP go find them the big money in the court, make the lesson. But the jail Shatawale go. Shatawale is our big superstar in the nation. But when they kill the world leader and the locality people, you can go like a chico. If you down Paris jail Shatawale, when the down Paris see me and I eat the power, they will like a chico. Because we are no big, we don't get money, we suffer to chop down Paris. No sleepy down Paris. Down Paris.
What are your views on the anti-LGBTI plus bill? What are your?
I don't understand this English. Come, yomuga makwe any yomuga.
On akashi bill ko your parliament. Me akashi wo parliamentarians e ku ke akashi. Me Ghana bi tomo woni ekumeyamentani ye ahishin he ahishin. There's a whole debate about it. What are your views?
That talking that
yes, that's one.
Woman sleeping, man and man sleeping. You know, don't see me my face today and don't make me at the do comedy artist you laughing. I know Bible rough. This thing Jesus are telling in the Bible already. Bible say come to the world to multiply. Bible say come to the world to multiply. When the man sleeping, they cannot boom. What is abomination? When the woman sleeping, they not get a charge. What is a Satan work? Well, me myself, I can't allow this thing to come our Ghana. He goes, we Ghana people we spoil already. Or this one come and boom, we all go spoil. You understand? I can't believe that thing.
Okay.
Sunshine.
Okay. You are the self-acclaimed Ghana superstar. Social media call superstar in Ghana. The whole Ghana. Okay. The whole Ghana was you superstar. I mean,
they ask two questions. When you see the popular man in Ghana, who is popular than me?
Ofita Heshio, yes.
Dabi.
Ofita Ifa.
Let me tell you something. Kake Ifita Ishi in yese. He is slow. I ask two questions. Who is super than me in this nation? Now I will tell you something.
Okay.
Can you show the names? I can't challenge you say this one. But when you listen, madam, when you talk, I will tell you something. Oh, come. You say what?
Oh yeah, social media handles. Followers say Instagram, Twitter, social media. Fans buy followable.
When you see the social media, they talk for social media. I get fans. You too, you know. You like me to talk. Me fans in Ghana. Number one. You know. I come here right now. Everybody.
Okay.
You too, you say Bangu they go shake here today. But people are coming here. You don't tell her that. But if you see me today, you see Bangu go shake here. Well, I'm a big superstar. You are superstar than me. Let me tell you.
Say who is superstar than him?
Okay, Daddy, I want to. You said I'm a superstar.
Hey, Bangu.
You said me can't be. But I'm back. I tell you that I'm number one.
Did I say back?
I tell you that. Make sure the people in my face to tell you something. You don't talk.
I can't talk.
I'm number one.
Okay. Okay.
But I miss those things you used to say. Man cannot be careful
unless you buy new car and you wash it. Let me tell you that I'm a superstar number one. Come on. When I'm breaching myself right now, my name go up.
So that's why you do those things.
Listen. When I'm breaching myself right now, no, my name go up. Ghanaians like my English. I'm the best bosser in the country. Jovia, everybody know I'm number one. When a bossing is don't come here, music day, videos day, everything. One of them, I'm 20 years superstar in Ghana. You still mention my name in Ghana. People die already. People come 2 years, 3 years, they are die. I'm still continuing my papa for 20 years. Shatawale again 9 years superstar. Right now you go retail. I'm 20.
Bukombanku, one wrap up. What do you want Ghanaians to know? Give us a proverb that's exclusively yours.
When you're taller than your father, it's not better to pay share. If you're taller than your father, it's not better to pay share. Can you okay for 10? If you're taller than your father, it's not better to pay share. People with that community make society, and the empty calabash can go to the river. And the forward, they stay like and the back. The road you pass, people have passed them before. The end of his life.